still shop at Walmart.
I did yesterday. Good morning.
Where I get my underwear.
What's going on? We're on the downslide. Thursday, April 25th. Mornings with Matt and Bob, powered by Chuy. For the record, put it in the logbook. We're here. And we're ready for action. Let's do today's starting lineup so you know who's taking the field today on your behalf. Your starting lineup, your A team, the man straight ahead, the hardest working man in show business. Did we go to lunch yesterday? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
I remember I had some issues, but you know, it happens.
Hey, we had a good time.
We had a good time, and that's what this guy's all about. Good time. They call him Good Time Charlie. Charlie's not even his name. His actual name is Eric. And I was thinking about that yesterday. Maybe I'll talk about that when we finish the introductions. He's the hardest working man in show business, a heavyweight champ in every aspect of his life. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a discount store worth of aspects. Yeah. Shoes, food,
Commemorative plates.
cars, cats.
The stuff in the shelves they don't let you touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, he takes your phone calls every morning. He scolds the interns. He hires the interns. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to the one, the only, Mr. Chuy Eldorado.
Thank you so much. Why do those thrift stores do that? I've never understood. Have you ever done one of those auctions? Anyway, the gentleman in front of me.
Yeah.
Tan on tan on tan. He's the man. In his LA Raiders hat, he looks just like Ice Cube, 1980.
Oh, I should have worn my Ice Cube shirt today. I found a vintage Ice Cube shirt.
Wow.
Should have wore it. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess they don't make those anymore.
Yeah.
They gotta be vintage. Folks, he's been everywhere, all right? Everywhere across the world, you name it, he stepped on it. If he is anything, he's a father, a lover, a Texas Radio Hall of Fame inductee, former announcer of the Austin Ice Bats. Ladies and gentlemen, now he's in your ears. His name, Bob Fonseca!
Hello. Oh my, how you doing, man? How you doing? What's going on, Chuy? I was thinking about you yesterday, driving around, and I felt a little guilty.
Oh.
But before we get into my massive guilt, let's introduce the man who sits out in the parking lot and waits for the introductions
He
to
sits
start.
around the corner.
Because he doesn't want to interact with us before the show. He wants to keep it special, keep it real.
If it's a creative thing, you can be honest with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man to my right. What can I say? This guy's resume. I know you're only supposed to have a resume that is 1 page long. And I know that your LinkedIn should be under 6 gigabytes. Okay? But this guy's resume is so extensive, so large, that we just have to make compensations for his complications. How you like that?
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's done so much. Former star of weekly television. People hate it when I say episodic television
God.
for some reason.
Red
They say, Bob,
Shoe Diaries?
will you quit saying that? He's a heavyweight champ in every... No, that's you.
That's me.
He's also a stand-up comic, ladies and gentlemen. I used to say former stand-up comic. He took a little time off, but he's back in that New York groove, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? Austin's greatest living storyteller is here for us. You get him for 4 hours. Mr. Marvelous Matt Bearden.
Oh, I like Marvelous.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I drove around with a lot of guilt yesterday. I was doing a lot of reflection, and we came back from lunch, and I was thinking about Chuy, and I was thinking, you know, how can I help this young man?
Help?
I've done so much in my life,
It's kind of
and I have so
offensive,
much
but I'll take it.
information to impart. I know a lot of times I try to pull him aside and give him advice, and he looks at me like my kids look at me. He looks at me like, stop dadding me.
Hey,
Stop
man.
telling me how I can make more money. I want to be I just want to be miserable not making money. It's like,
just tell us
I
what
go,
horse to
Chuy,
bet on.
compensate your YouTube channel. I mean, what do you call it? Not compensate. Well, yeah. I mean,
Well,
that's,
they compensate.
monetize. Monetize your Twitch and your YouTube stuff, and I know how to do it. It's not a lot at first, but it can grow. But I was driving around and I was thinking, did I do Chuy? And I'm going to open this up to the room, Matt.
Okay.
When I first met Chuy, that first day when he was an intern on the show, fresh young face,
Uh-huh.
And it just came out of my mouth, the name Chuy. I know it's kind of, you can say what you will about that maneuver, whether that was politically correct or not, but as someone who has a father who was Hispanic, who joined the military and all that stuff, I was like, I don't know, that's the name that kind of hit me, and we always nicknamed our interns. But that one stuck. And I'm wondering, did I do you a disservice? Because that's how you're known in the community. And should we, from this point forward, say May 1st, because we're coming up against the end of the year here, start only referring to you by your God-given name or your parents' given name? I feel like I don't want to say it's a cartoon name, but giving you a name like that,
my grandfather's name.
Have you ever thought that?
Yeah, your cartoon grandfather. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just saying a character name. Cartoon was not. I'm not going to use the right words all the time. That's one of my strengths, actually. That's one of my strengths. I'm like the Norm Crosby of radio. Remember that guy?
I don't know who that is.
He was one of those
Sounds like a cartoon.
He was one of those old school stand-up comedians, but he would just misuse words and meanings all the time. Should we go back to calling you only, Eric? Eric sounds like a name.
His God-given name is John, though.
Eric sounds like a millionaire name.
John.
Or John. Well,
now, in real
John's
life,
kind of generic. No offense to anybody named John or Juan.
My dad, I think, made that joke when I asked him why they named me that. He was like, I don't know, we just gave you a generic name.
John Eric.
John Eric.
Would you no longer like to be a cartoon character? If the answer is yes, I would support that.
But what if my personality changes?
All right, real quick before you answer.
Okay.
Bob, should you have called me about this last night? This is a major show change.
It's only a proposition. It's not set.
I'd like you driving around feeling a little guilty today.
It's not set in
not
stone.
even consulting me whatsoever for the John Eric
just
change.
ordered
Now
all
back
them.
to your regularly scheduled show.
I felt a lot of guilt. Like, does that name hold you back?
Probably. But we already ordered
But
the
we
mugs,
didn't know.
So
We didn't know on that day that I said that. What year was that? Do you remember the year?
That I'd be somebody?
No, that you would have the longevity in the business that you did. I thought you would just be like an intern and you would be here for 6 months and then, jete.
Yeah, he didn't know that you'd have a lack of desire to make something of yourself.
Now, Matt,
What?
you're not making things better.
Wait, I
Okay.
thought. What did you mean by that?
I'm saying that I didn't know that he was going to have the longevity in the business that he's had, and I might not have said it at the time.
You're still here, right?
Giving him the name.
Which means you have a lack of desire to make something of yourself, and I'm still here. I have a lack of desire to make something of myself.
I was under contracts and stuff like. There were times when I probably should have left that I couldn't leave.
It's almost too late.
I think the longest contract I ever had was like 7 years. Can you imagine 7 years?
Okay, what's the contract you're under right now?
To tolerate you fools.
At this point now, it's kind of a Hollywood decision.
Right.
And how many
Yeah, a rebranding.
talented people are named Chuy? I might stand a chance in that aspect.
Okay.
You go to the Erics, there's a lot of talented Erics.
Well, there's Eric
Estrada.
Roberts. Eric Estrada, who I saw at the airport the other day.
Uh-huh.
Eric Von Stappen.
Donegan.
Sure.
Eric Stoltz.
Eric Wright is Eazy-E.
Eric Rakim.
So
Is there a Rakim? What am I thinking of? Another
Eric
rap.
B.
Eric B.
Oh,
and Rakim.
They're the Von Erics.
The Von Erics.
I don't know if that counts.
Eric Von Richthofen, the ace.
Uh-huh.
No, he wasn't Eric. I'm gonna.
There's Rick Astley.
I just felt like our boy. I just feel like our boy has grown up.
Okay.
And if it's something that you wanted to change, I would.
What brings all this on?
Guilt thinking about my kids, and guilt thinking about my life, and guilt thinking about.
Are you going to change their names?
How I've impacted people
to make them more successful.
I mean, I made
you named all your kids after rock stars. So.
I made a billionaire, but I also made a guy named Chuy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you have to do to him what you did to her.
Yeah, there's too many good Erics.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad that maybe the company doesn't take you serious because I characterized you. I think that's a good word. Characterize.
I'm not taking. I think it's because I'm the youngest. Matter what.
I just want to apologize to you, and I hope that you will forgive me for that. I've made a list of amends that I need to make.
Look, I stuck with it.
I'll be making phone calls to all the women I've known before today. I've got to call all my kids and apologize for all my transgressions. But I thought I would start here with you. I want to leave that up to you, and you've got 24 hours to decide.
Wow. All right.
And I'm sorry I didn't consult with you, Matt, but this was something that was, inside my heart.
Welcome to you're listening to Mornings with Matt and Bob. We're powered by John Eric.
Can I ask you do you think it's going to propel or help my career in some way? Because I feel like this could just be some sort of bias you have in your mind about a name, Chuy, and might lead to the fact on why you gave me that name originally in general.
Well, we've explored that before. I don't feel weird about that because that's the show. That was the show at the time, and I wasn't loading that in any way. It was one of my favorite Mexican restaurants at the time. Now it's become a tourist trap, but yes. But I didn't have any. So
I think those are the same feelings you're bringing on now.
And like I said, I thought you were going to be here for 4 months or whatever interns spend here, and then off to, a fabulous career in media.
What if we just give him another nickname like Lalo?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I like a Lalo.
What about Jaime?
That's just a regular name.
I think we need to gentrify it a little bit.
You think it's too?
Yeah. Like John's too generic, Eric, but maybe put a K like Eric Estrada.
But you already have.
So that way you still you still have the kind of, because Eric Estrada, right? He did it with a K. Mm-hmm. So that gives it some.
Well, you could also try to, if you wanted to not gentrify it and make it too, gringo, you could call him Erica. Agreed?
Yeah, that's true.
We'll call you Erica from now on. That way everybody's happy.
My grandfather's name is Chuy.
I mean, I can change the logo. Real easy. We have no place. It doesn't go anywhere. The logo. We have a logo, but we don't have billboards, television, bus panels, taxis, a sign at the airport. We don't have anything to really put it on.
Is this your beef jerky, grandfather? Mm-hmm. God, that jerky's so good. How come he's not making it every day and selling it?
He's older now, so he told me to come and make it. Come make it.
Do
you realize how much money you could be making by making that jerky?
Really?
Well,
I might try to make some next weekend.
How much? Jack Link ain't living in no little house. I'll tell you that right now.
That's true. None of theirs are that great. Should we take a call on Monday?
Sure. Well, yeah, maybe they can shed some light on this dilemma I've put you in.
Caller.
Yes, I was thinking about how they were talking about giving you an idea of choice of your name.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lil Wayne back in the day before he came up, it was Lil Wayne. And then when he came big, they called him Tunche. And I was kind of like, so it's kind of like, let's think of something that, now you're big now,
Why don't we call you Lil Chuy?
I really love the Lil Wayne analogy. I think the parallels are definitely endless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're big now. What are we going to do?
So you want to call him something that... You want something that gives him, like, a bigger name, like Gordo.
Fat Chuy.
Yeah.
Or Chingon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not bad, actually. You might as well lean into the culture,
I can get a
right?
job, too.
Just lean in.
Or let's change all y'all to... let's keep Chuy and then give y'all nicknames.
That's fine.
Oh.
What name would you give Bob?
El amigo de los dos.
Yeah, right on. I don't even know what that means. What, Chuy? Translation? I mean, Eric?
Amigos.
Translation, Eric?
My best friend.
Y'all, I'm not as creative as y'all, but man, for sure y'all got the brain chicken.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah.
Did you say brain chicken? Because I'll eat some of that. All right.
Already.
Be good.
Chuy.
Be good. I like that.
I mean, Eric.
Yeah.
See, it's going to take me a while, but will you accept my apology just so I can cross you off the multi-page list that I have of people I need to apologize
You're
to?
already sober. Like, why is AA making you do this?
I'm making me do this.
Here's what I don't get is that don't you think that Eric has less don't you think Chuy is what helped build him into somebody?
I feel that way. I think Eric is
within
less
the building it held him
I don't
back.
think you would have gone as far. I mean,
I think
Chuy.
I think in the mind of the people here, it held him back. I think
Eric
out
sounds
there,
kind of pompous.
I think
'Cause
out
am
there,
in real
it's
life.
great.
No, I think the fact that none of us are wearing collared shirts is what held us back here. We were on anybody on this wing over here, what we would call the talent side, is looked at as the enemy
Because we're wearing underwear, essentially.
Well, that wasn't
A
always.
T-shirt is underwear.
No, it was
designed as underwear.
right. What also a lot of this wing down here back in the day.
Wait a
when
minute. The boss he's got a collared shirt on.
Well, of course.
Oh, I just saw that.
is that how he's flexing?
Yeah, and he just distinguished the difference between bosses. And,
Oh, man.
why say that with a collared shirt on?
Wow.
Hey,
Here, you know what I'm going to do?
don't
What?
dress for the job you have,
you
dress
better-
for the job you want.
You better do your
I'm
job.
going to make a paper collar right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna make
just like a priest.
I was gonna say that's a priest collar.
No, I got to keep talking.
I mean, do you feel like Bob has held you back? Because it's a pretty simple name. It's not like,
Yeah, but my pay stub says Robert. And that's, that's got, like.
It's got what?
Why don't you go by
Like
Robert?
De Niro,
Because you got a lot of options. You could be
It's
Bobby,
pronounced De Niro.
Bob, Robert.
How you
Rob.
like my
That was the
my
worst
pilgrim-
attempt I've
my
ever seen at
pilgrim
making a collar.
Hey, look, I'm a boss now. Hey, you guys get to work.
You'd be a good boss. You'd let us do whatever.
Yeah, I would. I would let
No,
the creativity
you
run.
We would feel like your son.
Are you gonna forgive me or not? I need to.
I already
I
forgave
swear to
you.
God, I
Nothing
need you
even
to.
happened. I'm doing okay. You're good. Don't sweat it. All right?
Can you put it in writing?
Yeah.
I do sweat. I sweated it yesterday.
But at my funeral, what are y'all going to put? Is it going to be Chuy or is it going to say Eric?
Here's the deal. I've never really known what your real damn name is. You got Eric, you got John, you got something. There was something else, right? Mark or something? Or what's your? I know you're you were born Catholic, right?
Yeah.
So you have a saint name. You were given a saint name at some
I gave
point.
confession in the womb.
What's your my saint name is Mark. At confirmation, your confirmation. Did you get confirmed?
No, I was never confirmed, so I'm going to hell.
You were baptized though.
Yeah. I was baptized.
So you never got a fourth
communion.
I have a fourth name.
I eat the wafers, so I'm good.
I don't think you can if you weren't. You better check your local diocese. I don't think you can.
Pretty sure I've digested
If I'm not
them.
married, technically, because I wasn't married in the church, I don't think that you can take communion if you weren't confirmed.
Maybe like some fiber wafers or something.
It's very complicated, Matt. You Protestants wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also, I feel differently than you do about Chuy because I don't think that Chuy is such a, helpless, low IQ monkey that things that I do control his life like you do. You think of him as a child, and that's why the name that you give him affects his life. I see him as a strong man that can control his own destiny.
Those are just words, Matt.
I mean,
Thank
why
you.
didn't you use a different name on the radio? Why didn't you do that? To remain anonymous?
I think I wanted to be.
Because nobody here uses their real name.
Yeah. Why did you go with Bob?
Well, first of all, like my last name is not in a lot of shows across the country. I don't know how many are left, but in the day there were a lot of morning shows, and guys used their first last name. They would usually take their middle name and make it their last name. There were so many Steve Austins Austin was a really popular name in radio because it was a lot of guys' middle name. You know?
I didn't know that.
So nobody used their middle name because
Jane Austen?
Because that would really reflect on their culture, maybe, or their upbringing, or their whatever.
Yeah.
So they would take it would always be, two kind of generic names together that really weren't their first and last name. It was usually their first and middle name, or their first name and then a name they made up. And that's the way 90%, 95% of morning shows or radio personalities operate. That was just it. And they used fake voices that they learned at the Columbia School of Broadcasting, and they puked all over the microphone.
No, we're asking why you didn't change your name.
Because my last name wasn't ever used in the marketing.
Nobody used their last name. They were always Bob and Tom or Larry and Flynn or whatever. I'm asking you why you didn't change your name to like Kyle.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense.
Or the Griff.
Oh, yeah, or Mudman.
What I should have done is stop letting them put "and" before my name. Is what I should have done.
Well, then how do you get... So you would just put a comma?
I don't know.
I've thought
It's
about...
like, here's so-and-so and the other guy. Here's Matt and the other guy.
No.
And you're
no,
a with. I would almost rather be a with, because with, like in the movies, like when you see a TV show...
Yeah.
I mean,
And
somebody
then
special.
And that last name has an and or a with before it. In the movies, that's big. That means like you're a big star that shouldn't even be on a TV show, but you are.
I thought about going by John, like if I would have gotten more into the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I also don't want to keep using my government name on the air. It's warrant season.
Do you want to switch?
We got phone calls lit up.
I didn't know warrants came in season.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to switch the show and call it Mornings with Bob and Matt? I'm cool with that.
Leroy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, short and sweet. I was just going to say, I think there's a long list of cool Erics, but I think the Chuy you got is probably the best Chuy I can think of.
There you go.
Thank you
Say
so
right
much.
there.
See?
He does kind of stand out.
That's the point I was making.
There's only one Cher.
Thank you, sir. You're high like me.
There's only one Prince.
Right. I know. This guy's super high.
think?
I could tell. I was going
We
to
think
ask
alike,
him.
sir.
Here's the thing I don't understand. How come so many people are waking up early in the city to get high? Or are they getting high to deal with how early they're awake?
Early bird gets the worm, baby.
That's not the worm. It's a bowl.
Let's go to Sarah then. Sarah.
It's not Sarah.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hi.
Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. We're fantastic.
So I was just wanting to chime in with the Chuy thing.
Right,
Oh,
right.
please.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love the name Chuy.
Yeah.
You know, I love when it's
Yeah.
Chuy and the Man. I don't know. It just kind of, it rings in your ear. It sounds nice.
Don't you feel like when you listen to the show, Chuy is the character that you're rooting for the most?
Oh, absolutely. Us
Yeah.
Mexicans got to stick together.
Yeah, but Chuy it's also like sexy too, right?
It kind of is.
Okay.
I mean, all of my great aunts and great uncles, they all had, fun nicknames.
Right.
I like them the best.
See?
Okay.
See, Bob?
See, Bob?
I think that...
No, I think you guys are missing the point.
I don't. I
said
think you're
here
missing
in
the
these
point.
in these walls when they're,
Thank you, sir.
when they're deciding
Calling
the
anytime.
things that they have to decide. Like I feel like your name should have grown with your responsibilities, and then maybe you would have been.
I think that you're trying to say that somehow
I
in
don't
the
wanna say
building
it.
they don't want to lift up somebody with a Latino name, and that would make sense
Well,
if
live
the afternoon guy on the Latino station wasn't driving a $120,000 pickup truck.
You seen him? It's nice.
You know what I mean?
Really?
Have you not seen his truck?
You been to their remote?
No.
His truck is nicer than my house.
I thought that was the GM's truck.
We gotta learn Spanish. Rick.
Hey,
What's up,
why
Rick?
not try out hey guys, why not try out like Chuy the champion? I mean, he is the champ.
Chuy the champion.
No. Nobody's
I mean,
getting
I-
three names on this show all
I
of a
like
sudden.
that.
I don't know what you're going with.
come
Powered by
on.
Chuy the champion?
The Big D champion.
That
How
would-
about Chuy? How
Yeah.
about Chongo Chewy? How about
Chuy.
that?
I don't know. But like, I
The
think
Chuy
I think
Cabra.
the name change is I think that the Chuy Cabra. That's the good one. I say Chuy the champ. because he is the champ, man.
He is the
I always-
heavyweight
I am
champ.
the champion.
My
Yeah.
my son got in the car last
Thank you,
night.
Rick.
I picked him up from Taekwondo practice, and he goes, "Oh, I had to laugh in practice today." And I go, "Oh, something happened? And you didn't get in trouble, did you? You know, because it's a lot about rules and decorum and stuff in the Taekwondo." And he's got one kid named Josue who doesn't really speak any English, and he goes, "Well, we'll give the guy. I don't want to identify anybody. We'll call him. And by the way,
Carlos.
we'll call him Master Carlos.
Okay.
Great. Master Carlos was trying to explain an exercise move, and they call it the monkey. And he said, Josue, do you know what a monkey is? Because he couldn't remember the word chongo, right? And he's like, a monkey. Do you know what a monkey is? And he said Josue was just looking, and all of a sudden Josue goes, like a little gorilla.
That's adorable.
He held his hands up like this, like he's holding a puppy. And goes,
Oh, petting it.
like the little gorilla.
It is.
But what about the little gorilla?
What about little gorilla
You like
for
that name?
Chewy? Little gorilla.
Oh, I do kind of like that.
You do.
Baby gorilla.
I don't.
Call her.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Bob.
Shut
I'm
up,
always,
right?
hello?
Yeah. No, you're telling me to. Hey,
I like
Bob,
that these are
shut
all
up.
all of
Don't
my
change his
fans
name.
No,
calling
Bob.
in are stoned.
I like Bob. He's cool. Hey, check
That's
it
what-
out. My name is Robert, right?
Yeah.
And I'm Mexican. It's really Roberto, but
Me too.
some people will be like, "You want me to call you Bob?" And I was like, "Whoa, I'm not a doctor, like I'm Mexican." But Mexican nickname that they've given me is Tito or Chilo, which means Robert.
Yeah,
I don't know
Chilo.
how, but
It does? How do you spell that?
CHELO.
almost like Chile, but with the O, and then Tito, like Tito's tequila, or is there a tequila named Tito's? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Is it
But,
pito? Is pito a seed or as in papito?
It's like Robertito.
Okay.
I think that's where that ending comes, the nickname.
Oh,
And then
Tito.
you got Chilo, and all my kids' names are Robert or Roberto.
I told you what my dad called me when I was a little kid, right? When I was like 1 or 2.
What?
I didn't hear
Sango de Chango,
what.
which was his
Yeah, it's a little-
slang
that's cool as
for
a
monkey
kid.
blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sangre de
That's
Changa.
cool.
But see, I think
Yeah.
I think Bob missed out on something because Bob's father was from across, right? Originally.
Right.
But his dad, once his dad got in the military, his dad wanted his kids to have a military culture more than he wanted them to have a Latino or Mexican
I don't
American
know if it was
culture,
planned.
right?
I don't know if it was planned. I think it just happened.
So I don't think Bob understands that culturally speaking, a nickname is important. It means you're part of the tribe right there, right?
Not only that, it's so Austinite. It just sounds so. We're an Austin channel. We're an Austin family. I mean, you can't.
Dude, I
fix
want this guy to come in and fight
don't-
for us.
Don't
Dude.
fix something that's not broke yet. You know.
Where were you when we were having consultant
Thank you, sir.
meetings?
Thank you.
We could have brought you into the boardroom, and you could have said all this.
I'm just a local household mover. I mean, what can I say?
No, you're not. You're,
No, you're
what
not.
do you?
You're
Hey,
the backbone of America.
do me a
is
favor.
what you
Take
are.
just off of that. You don't say I'm just a local household. You say I'm a household mover. This is a town shaking and moving, but it doesn't get anywhere without my back, mother effers. That's how you talk
Yeah.
about yourself, bro.
Yeah. Why don't you move
That's
it
what I'm
yourself? You could
Yeah.
tell him.
Man, I'm America's most wanted. What are y'all talking
No.
No,
Well,
no,
be
that's
careful
different.
because remember, it's a resting season, so it's warrant season. So don't say wanted
It's
in there,
warrant
bro.
season.
No, I already took care of those. Remember, you were mentioning that taking care of your warrants. They're letting you do that now.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
look,
are.
hey,
Actually.
the information's working.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Glad that you took care of your warrants.
Take
You
care
know,
of your warrants.
But yeah, man, I love this city, and I don't ever want to move out.
Hey,
But
do you know
I'm
that?
starting to think about it.
You know that for a while, we had a caller one morning call up here and say that he was sick and tired of us talking always about Mexican crap. He said,
Huh.
"Do you remember that dude?"
Yeah.
He called up here, and
It's us and all those Mexican friends all in here.
it was so weird because he was like, I'm y'all every morning y'all talk about and you're doing all the Spanish to what. then there was a consultant, not our consultant, but somebody else who said, yeah, well, maybe you should, I don't remember the exact term, but it was about reducing the amount of Latino culture we talked about or whatever. It's like, we're in a city that's 55%. Like, why would you say, I don't want to talk to the majority of the people in the city? Doesn't make any sense.
We're going to fix that this election year. I'll tell you what.
I don't know how you can be in Texas and not, like, I don't know. To me, it's all about, it's a fundito.
I do community service at the Mexican Museum on Congress. Come on now.
I just contacted them. I'm trying to get them in for their Taste of Mexico coming up. I really want to go.
I want to go to that.
They got
too.
so many good vendors there. Get tickets if you can. I'll promote them.
And I'll talk to the main lady. She's really nice. She's so cool.
We just want to promote y'all and everything, or them.
And I'll bring it up to her, and then I'll connect y'all.
Orale.
Orale,
All right, be good.
Orale,
All right.
Bearden.
Later.
You cut him off?
Yeah, dude. Sorry. He's a good guy. I guess I'll just stick with Chuy.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and make the decision
as long as
now.
you accept my apology.
Well, here's the thing: is that everybody gets a nickname, and luckily mine was more of a name in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able of using. You know what you called what, breast boy? I couldn't have done that with the other intern y'all
I would have
named.
never done that too.
Yeah.
I feel
Or-
guilty about that, but he's on the list too, but I don't know how to reach him. So
That's a name that would have never taken off.
well, what about Sugar Britches? I named her.
Yeah. When you guys go to lunch without me, you refer to me as asshole or that idiot.
Unfortunately, that didn't
It's
stick.
just an adjective. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of liked that. I was going to put it on a shirt.
I named Hoops. I named Breakfast Club. I should have apologized to Hoops the other day when I saw her.
Why?
Well, I don't know.
I like that everybody gets a nickname.
She's just a sassy lady, sassy young girl. She calls us all her dads.
She's a sassy young woman.
Same thing. Lady girl.
So has everything worked out here, Bob? Do you
Yeah,
feel
I think
better
so.
now
I think
about
so.
have you feel better about the trials and tribulations you put our friend through?
I just wanted to express that. That's all. And the listeners have supported you in that name change. And you do have a relative that you're honoring, a grandfather that you're honoring, or an uncle.
I don't know if this will make you even more sad, but I'm the most successful probably out of my family.
You know, do you think it's weird that he said he feels that the nickname he gave you has held you back, which means that in his brain,
I know
he thinks you're not very successful.
well.
No, I
In
think
my
you
brain
should
as
have
well.
all the successes. I think you should have everything that you want. And I know you feel like you don't.
I'm loved as long as I got people high as hell calling in on the phone saying, "Hey."
As long as you're there.
Do you consider yourself less of a Mexican American and more of a marijuana American? Is that culturally where you see
If
yourself?
I could check that off on my resume and not get a urine analysis test, I would.
Well, I think my work is done here. I've got to move on down the list. I've crossed you off
Who's
the list.
next? Can we see the list? Make an
Well,
actual list.
Hoops and Breakfast Club. Did Natalie have a nickname? I think we were afraid to give her a
we couldn't.
nickname.
Yeah, we were scared. Still scared.
We got to reach out to Sugar Britches. I don't know where she is.
I didn't realize that. We never did nickname Natalie, did we? She was just our intern Natalie?
I heard she has a nickname on La Zeta.
I'm sure she does. How do you say homewrecker in Spanish?
That's a joke. Nothing's.
That's the guy with the collar.
That's the guy with the
Line
collar.
of the day.
Making a joke.
Line of the day from the guy with the
Starting
collar.
rumors and then making people insecure and then maybe breaking up a home himself.
Radiohead has creeped into the Billion View Club.
I report the news. That's what I do.
It's Bob Fonseca's Rock and Roll News.
Oh, you pretty things out there going to work, doing your thing. I'm going to do my thing right now. That's Rock and Roll News because I'm Rock's last great reporter here with you through the good graces of an exclusive contract with KLBJ FM that was cobbled together by my team, my legal team, to bring you the rock and roll news headlines every morning so that you don't look like some kind of doofus when you go to work or you're hanging out with your girlfriend or whatever, boyfriend, what I don't know what your proclivities are. But
maybe both of them.
Both, yes. Yes, your
That's
wife,
hot.
your girlfriend, or both, yes. I've got the news you can use in rock and roll. And remember, I don't make the rock and roll news. I kind of stay on the sidelines. You know, sure, I'm playing golf with a member of a major band on Sunday, but you know, other than that, I don't make the news. I just report it. All right,
Right.
And anything that gentleman tells me on the golf cart there is going to be held in strict confidence.
And
I want
remember,
him to know.
Bob golfs bad, just like you.
That's true.
Just like you.
But
That's what makes him a common man.
That's what
I've
makes him
got a
common.
couple of clubs in the back of my car. I'm going to go to Top Golf after the show today. You want to come? I'll buy you lunch.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got to swing. You know what I'm
A
saying?
golf club, right?
Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. I got the headlines for you. And don't worry, kids. I got a Rock and Roll News Junior for you coming up. So hang in there as you're on your way to the dropout zone. Now, Radiohead. It's not a band that I'm super familiar with. I was at, a couple months ago, I was browsing at End of an Era Records. Now, normally, you know, if I'm above the river, I'll go to Piranha Records. But sometimes I find myself in South Austin, you know, as people do.
One does.
And I'll pop into End of an Ear, and they don't know me, you know. But there was a show fan there, and he came up to me, and he handed me a bag with a record in it. He goes, "I just bought this for you."
What was
It
it?
was a Radiohead record.
Okay, computer or
No.
Kid A?
What was on the cover? Now I don't remember what was on the
Was it
cover.
black and red?
No. It was really colorful, psychedelic kind of cover. You have to show me the covers.
Huh.
Okay.
It wasn't OK Radio, and it wasn't OK Computer, and it
This
wasn't.
is okay radio.
Yeah. It's that one with the letter
rainbows?
In rainbows. And he says, "I heard you on the air say you don't have a Radiohead record, and I wanted to change that, and I bought this for you."
Look at that.
So I don't know
listened
what
to it, have you?
I actually,
Yeah, I have actually.
the past couple of years,
I tagged it and bagged it and listened
I
to it.
mean, we've all been introduced to Radiohead,
Right.
but I've grown an appreciation for them. I actually like Radiohead.
I think if you get really, really, really baked and do OK Computer into Kid A, that's a really good time.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the point of that story was feel free to buy me a record if you see me at a record store.
Okay, good story. I like that one. Hey, if you see me at a car dealership, feel free to pick up a ride for me.
Maybe that's the play. Maybe I should just hang around car dealerships.
See if
Just
anybody
walking
buys you a
around.
car.
See if somebody buys me a vehicle.
Yeah.
Anyway, Radiohead is now in YouTube's Billion Views Club, the video for the band's 1992 classic. That's the year I started on this show.
1992 would be Creep.
Creep.
Yeah.
Surpassed 1 billion views on the platform this week. That means YouTube
weirdo.
has paid Radiohead collectively. They've got to split it like 5 ways. $37.59 for those billion
Yeah.
views.
That's one of the songs I actually like to hear covered by anybody.
It's
Yeah.
a good song. It really is a very good song. Kick it. Kick it.
I just got my paycheck today from YouTube.
Let's go.
That wasn't bad.
We're going to Fogo de Chao
It
today.
wasn't bad. It was, you know. The tune was first released in 1992. I said that, and it was included on Radiohead's debut album, Pablo Honey.
There you go. Nailed
There
it.
you go. Have you watched any videos a billion times? I watched that Prince guitar solo at the George Harrison tribute about 1 billion times. That's pretty good.
Music videos?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, a lot of Michael Jackson videos, but Remember the Time is one of my favorites. Eddie Murphy.
All right, now,
Do you remember who was the model that was the guest model who did that dance?
In the Michael Jackson video?
Something cat dance. I'll find it.
Okay.
That video I could have watched 1 billion times.
now, a couple of weeks ago, I remember it was either Matt or Chuy. I think it was, well, it might have been Chuy, was implying that Machine Gun Kelly, MGK, and by the way, he's going to turn up in Rock and Roll News Junior. So it's going to be a twofer on MGK today. Now I love MGK. I don't listen to any of his music. I just love what he stands for.
Yeah.
He's going to do his own thing. You want to tattoo half your body black? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You want your whole upper torso to be like a black T-shirt? Go ahead.
Sure.
But one of you guys implied that he and Megyn Kelly had broken or what?
No, it's Megyn Kelly. Don't try to fix it. It's Megyn Kelly.
Well, someday
he left Megan Fox and he's decided
she will
be
Megyn Kelly.
He's decided to date Megyn Kelly, formerly of Fox News.
Someday she will be Megyn Kelly. Megan Fox. They did not break up. They just are no longer engaged. It was too much pressure. Therapy's too expensive, and they decided, you know what, we're still going to hang out. But Megan is his ex-fiance, but was by his side at a star-studded bash a month after she confirmed their engagement was over. The rapper turned rocker, turned rapper, turned rocker, turned rapper, turned snaps.
None of them have good in front of him.
I think he's going to do a country album next, he said. Put it in Prediction Corner. Seems to be all the rage these days.
I didn't think they could make that genre worse.
Now, Chuy, stop it. Yeah! He had a birthday celebration, his 34th to be exact. And Posty was there, and Tiffany was there. Tiffany Haddish.
No, not Tiffany. Not I Think We're Alone Now, Tiffany from the 1980s.
And Megan was right by his side, rocking a light blue. What are tresses? Hair
Trestles?
Hair curls. I think those are curls in your hair.
Well, why would she have light blue curls in her hair?
She dyed her hair.
Oh,
they like to do that. They have different color. Machine Gun Kelly and Megyn Kelly have different colorways.
I didn't know those people were all friends.
You know.
No 8-ball is safe.
Everybody. And then she had a black corset.
Everybody in the Illuminati are friends.
And then MGK sported a blue T-shirt with rapper Nelly on it. So that was cool, I think. I don't know. The event featured a black birthday cake and colorful crystals with a dragon on top. And anyway, that seems like that was a very fun and happy event.
Can I say that when you eat that black icing, it does do weird things to your poop. So just a heads up.
It comes out green.
Oh, you remember when Burger King came out with the black bun for Halloween? Everybody had green and blue.
It's a weird thing it does to your butt. Just giving you just a heads up. If you happen to if you go hang out with Machine Gun and Megyn Kelly.
I think that's fun. You can change my poop colors.
Now, I got another prediction for Prediction Corner. David Gilmour of the Pink Floyd has released a new single, The Piper's Call. Now, I want to put this Prediction Corner. I think he is warming up. I think he has heard my plaintive cries.
Really?
For a Pink Floyd reunion to be at the Sphere in 2025. The Eagles will book it out in 2024. But in 2025, I think David Gilmour is just warming up, getting his chops together. What he needs to do is warm up those fingers and dial. Let his fingers do the walking and call Roger Waters and apologize for whatever transgression he might have done.
You don't even have to apologize. Say, let's get this money,
son. Let's just make $1 billion,
Let's get this money, son.
Anyway, I'm sure you can stream that. It's been 9 years since his last solo project, I think.
Can't Roger Waters and David Gilmour have an agreement that in the Sphere they could have separate walk-ups to the stage? They never cross a certain part of the stage. You're literally just, hey, you're over there playing.
You're on the left side. I'm on the right side.
We walk out and we make $1 billion. We have separate dressing rooms. We literally never talk.
Here's an idea.
I'm fine with it.
You still got the prop wall from the wall somewhere in storage, right? Hopefully it's in climate-controlled storage.
But when
just put the wall down the middle of the stage.
But then the audience starts screaming, tear down the wall. The wall falls, and they embrace, and they start kissing.
Oh my God. At the Sphere. That would be awesome.
Oh, man.
All right. That's just put that in Prediction Corner. I think it's going to happen. It cannot not happen.
Yeah.
Moody Blues co-founder Mike Pinder is dead, 82. Another sad story in rock. I mean, we have this every week now. Someone's going to, another one bites the dust, we should call. I mean, we should make that a segment.
Wait, another Moody Blue has died?
Can you do that? Can you have Alex put another one, just the phrase, another one bites the dust, and then I'll make that like a weekly feature? Kind of like what the Academy Awards does in memoriam.
Except theirs is done respectfully and ours is done as a joke, as though somebody's life is just
Don't you think a rocker would want to be memorialized with a rock song?
Yeah, probably.
Or a rock.
And I know you're going to say Queen's not rock, but I
didn't say it.
I will fight you. I will fight you, Matt Bearden, on that.
No Queen fan has ever said, I will fight you.
All right. Now, plans are already being made for the big rock and roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Yeah! And Lou Gramm, the leader of Foreigner, is weighing in because he has got his time allotment. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at this. I talked about these two guys 1 minute ago, and look what shows up on my screen. A picture of David Gilmour and Roger Waters side by side. Yeah! How does that happen? Matt, you're good with computers.
Well, now I just see an ad for Texas Land and Ranch.
I know. But here it is. Why Roger Waters and David Gilmour are still fighting? It's a story. I'll have to watch that. Okay. Anyway, according to Lou Gramm, Foreigner has been given 12 minutes at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, if you deduct the 6 minutes that they'll take for the induction speech, I think it's going to be Peter Frampton is going to induct them. I think. That's the word I'm getting. Mm-hmm. But it could be someone else.
And then they're going to turn around and somebody going to induct Peter Frampton?
Then they get to play for 6 minutes. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wants Lou Gramm and Foreigner to play I Want to Know What Love Is. But he doesn't want to do that. That's not his first choice. He's not happy about playing that because he said that song put the band in a different category. And this happened. I'm going to teach you a lot about rock in the next 9.5 minutes.
Okay.
Crossover hits. I don't know how you feel about them. It changed Journey. It changed Foreigner. It changed a lot of bands. When you write that soft, poppy song that crosses over into other Billboard charts, and then the cash register goes... Somebody cha-ching me.
Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And then the rest of the band's going like, man, maybe we just got to just keep making these cha-ching songs. REO Speedwagon, another great. Have you heard some of REO Speedwagon's early songs? Riding the Storm Out.
Oh, okay.
Things like that.
Red Hot Chili Peppers used to have a song, I Want to Party on Your blank blank.
And then they
baby.
wrote Under the Bridge, and then every song sounded like Under the Bridge because of
money.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
So I understand why Lou Gramm doesn't want to sing maybe their biggest hit. He wants to rock out a little more. We'll have to find out what the final... I hope they do what Elvis Costello did on Saturday Night Live way back in 19...
What'd he do?
He started the song that Lorne Michaels wanted him to play and said, no, stop, band, stop. And then launched into Radio, which was very uncomfortable because NBC owned a bunch of radio stations. Like WNBC.
Right.
WNBC.
And Radio, I thought it was a love letter to radio.
No, it's not. It's him talking about the problems that radio has.
Yeah.
Or had then and still has not fixed.
And then Elvis Costello was banned for couple decades from performing on Saturday Night Live. I think that ban has been lifted. But who knows what Lou Gramm and the guys at Foreigner will decide to do. I hope they get to rock out. I want to hear Cold as Ice. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
In fact, let's do Cold as Ice and the other one, Hot Blooded. Let's just make it a medley.
What if they do a medley of like 8 songs mashed up into the 6 minutes?
I don't hate that idea,
Do
man.
they have any lukewarm songs?
I don't hate that. Well, that's a good...
Well, if you play Cold as Ice with Hot Blooded, it comes out as a lukewarm tune.
Right, good.
Let me give you this short story and then another quick rock history lesson before I launch into Rock and Roll News Junior. John Oates, as you know, has split from Daryl Hall. They have split the sheets.
Yeah.
They have flown the coop. They have divorced each other.
John Oates was looking for a payday, and Daryl Hall said, no, you're not.
You can't sell our intellectual property.
Yeah. And then John said, but Daryl, you have money because of the way you structured your life.
You sing like an angel.
And I don't have money.
And I just play guitar.
All I have is this mustache. And really, I can only sell that once.
Mustache is gone.
See?
He maybe have already sold it.
I
was wondering why he didn't have a mustache.
He sold the mustache.
Long Monday, the first song released from his upcoming album is out, and it's a John Prine cover. I'm just now getting into John Prine a little bit, but I don't know if there's a whole lot there for me. Maybe you, Matt. Are you a John? You look like a John.
I like John Prine
you
quite a
look
bit.
like John Prine.
I was sad that he passed away. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, kind of country, kind of bluegrassy, I don't know. I didn't mean it as a cut.
John Prine was like 80 years old.
I can see you in a convertible Cadillac with your boots, leaning back with your boots on the
God, I would love
door.
to have a convertible Cadillac.
Anyway, Long Monday is out. It's a John Prine cover. Oh, it's actually the second album from... the second song from Reunion. which is a weird title for a guy that's not reuniting with anyone. He's splitting from someone. Oh, he's reunioning with himself. He's finding... Oh, he should do that song. What was that Bonnie Tyler song? I've Never Been the Me. What was that one?
That was not Bonnie Tyler.
Who was that?
But, that's Sylvia, I believe, that sang... I've been to paradise. No, Sylvia sang, You're Nobody Called Today.
Now, John Fogerty, this is another rock and roll lesson for you kids out there. John Fogerty is one of my favorite rockers of all time. I think he looms large in the pantheon of songwriters and rock stars. CCR, I mean, would we have even had the 60s? Would we have even had the Vietnam War if it wasn't for CCR? You know what I mean? They made it cool. Right. It wasn't cool at all. It was a bad time. But at least
they're the reason
CCR gave us a cool soundtrack.
Yeah.
Who mean Run Through the Jungle.
That's the reason we won.
Pool Stop the Rain.
Mm-hmm. Pool Stop the Rain.
Green River.
Right.
Anyway, John Fogerty, I can't believe he's this dumb. And I say that with love in my heart.
It doesn't sound loving. I'm going to be honest with you.
Listening.
No, I know. I got a friend that works for him. He says he doesn't understand all the CCR drama back in the day. Now, CCR was very short-lived. By 1972, they were already broke up. And I think they started around, 66, 67, maybe. They did not last long. And John Fogerty's even to this day goes, I don't understand what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened, John Fogerty. That you can't figure it out. It's as plain to see as it's right in front of your nose.
Okay.
It's the same thing that happened to the Commodores. You got one guy in the band who has all the creative control, that writes every word of every song and every note.
Right.
Guess what?
What?
That's the guy that gets
the money.
Cha-ching. While the rest of the band becomes sidemen, while you're getting those big publishing checks in the mail, and of course your brother Tom is going to resent you and be jealous. They're not getting... That's millions of dollars you're getting in your mailbox. And the rest of the band's getting $300 a night.
You're
telling me you don't understand why they were mad? Mm-mm. I'm sorry, I'm getting worked up here because John Fogerty, one of the greatest living songwriters that we have, and has written some of the best rock tracks of all time, doesn't get it. Just like Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie was the same way. Who wrote all the Commodore songs? Why did the Commodores start resenting Lionel Richie? Because of
the money?
Cha-ching.
Now, do you think that automatically someone's going to resent somebody in their band just because they have all the money? Say there's a band where two of the people in the band drive cars that have hundreds of thousands of miles on it.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys in the band has a Cybertruck on order.
Yeah.
Do you think that band's going to break up just because of that?
Hey, I'm fine if you just buy me lunch, Lionel.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get that analogy at all.
I'm not good at analogies. That's the thing. I was shooting in the dark there. I don't know anything.
Anyway, I can't. There's probably many other bands that have. I think the Kinks fell to the same fate. Brothers fighting there. I don't know if it happened with the Black Crowes. I think Chris and the other Robinson brother that I can't remember are still friends. But bands with Oasis. Did one of those guys write more songs than the other? Did one get more money than the other?
Those guys do not like each other.
No, they do not.
They grew up in the same bedroom fighting, and then they decided to be in the same band and fight, and now they continue to fight.
Here's what I don't understand about rock and roll.
What?
And why I believe that it shouldn't have been just Lennon and McCartney.
Right.
Because when Lennon and McCartney wrote a song, okay? And most of the time it was just one of them that wrote it, and the other one added a couple words, but they had a gentleman's agreement that their name was going to go in that order on any song that either of them wrote.
Oh, that it would always be Lennon and McCartney.
Right. Because of Rodgers and Hammerstein or whatever, because that was the kind of the thing of the day. Songwriting pairs. But when you think that George Harrison had to sit there and think of a guitar part, totally unique and totally original in a tone that only that song would have, isn't that songwriting too? Shouldn't all the band members that come up with their instrument parts be songwriters and have the same credit, the amount of credit? They may not have wrote the lyrics, but they contributed something unique to that song, right?
Right.
The music industry is way different now. There's
don't you
producers that
think-
get more than some of the
Yeah.
writers, and there's
I don't
a lot
know.
of different-
That may not be a popular opinion, but I think if you add a really tasty guitar part to a song, you should be one of the songwriters.
If you play
And some
somebody's
bands
song,
do have that agreement.
If you play somebody's song off of your laptop in front of an EDM crowd, but you really make the bass drop, shouldn't you get all the money?
That's a good point. Never thought of it that way.
True.
Never. It's time for Rock and Roll News Junior. Oh, did it drop off? Hang on a second. This is for the kids on the way to the dropout zone, and this is exciting because, well, there's some news here, rock and roll news, and there's some YouTube news. I had no idea that the series Hot Ones, which is one of my favorite YouTube series, when there's nothing on TV,
I've done the challenge.
I binge watch, and me and all the kids, all my sons that hate me, we sit down and we put our differences aside for a few minutes and watch episodes of the Hot Ones.
Is the Hot Ones, is the challenge always the same? Does it always go through the same? Or do they change it every
change it
season?
every
It's
season
new now. There's a Hot Ones versus now where two friends go against each other at Hot Ones to see who can last longer.
The only ones they don't change are the Last Dab and the Bomb. And the Bomb is simply pepper extract, and it takes your breath away.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
what-
the reason they keep it there. So
Yeah,
you get the
no,
It's
reaction
always
no
in the
matter
number
what.
8 position. The Bomb is always in the number 8
They
position.
know what they're doing. They want
Yeah,
to
no,
do
I did
reaction.
a Hot Ones thing here in town once where they
cool.
did the...
They did the Bomb?
Yeah, it just hurts your stomach is all. It
Yeah.
makes your stomach kind of cramp.
It's disgusting. It's just pepper.
Well, in a new Hot
pepper
Ones
extract.
versus episode, Trippie Redd dares MGK sometime in the middle of the show to talk trash about Taylor Swift. But MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, did not take the bait. He says, you got to be out of your you-know-what mind. I'm not going to say the words because this is Rock and Roll News Journey. You got to be out of your blankety-blank mind. He goes...
He'd love to collab. I
He
bet.
goes, Taylor is a saint and very nice to me, and I'm not going to talk any trash. And you know what? I can see why. You know, Travis Kelce has joined MGK on stage. There's a picture of them there, right there.
Hey.
I'd buy that record. Not. I see what I did there?
You said not.
No.
Anyway, MGK offered Travis Kelce $1 million to leave the Chiefs to play for the Cleveland Browns, his hometown, MGK's hometown. I don't think anybody would take $1 million to play for the Browns. I don't think he would take $10 million to play for the Browns.
No.
Nobody wants to play for the Browns.
Why not?
Because it's in Cleveland, and even though the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, that's about all it's got going for it,
And
according
your-
to my
and
friend
your
Tom,
name is like
who's
doo-doo.
from there.
It's like a doo-doo.
Do you know my friend Tom was the Thomas J. Henry of Cleveland? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And he moved here and became my neighbor, and we're kind of besties. And you know, Tom built a bocce ball court in his backyard.
I didn't know that.
Am I going into too much detail? And he's a fantastic cook. You got to come to his house sometime for Chuy. He puts on the dog, man.
All right.
I got. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to give the Rock and Roll News salute to my neighbor Tom. Give it to him.
Invite us over for bocce.
He's a prince among men.
Did you say bocce or hibachi?
He doesn't listen to the show, but if you know him, tell him I gave him the Rock and Roll News salute today.
All right.
All right, for being from Cleveland and surviving, but he's here now. He's been here for about 10 years. All right, that was a good one. I think we learned a little bit about rock. I give you a history lesson. I not only inform, but I entertain. It's infotainment. I think we learned a lot about the world of rock and roll, how business is done.
Yeah.
I want you to know so you don't make mistakes when you become a big rock star. Hey, speaking of rock stars, I'm a rock star of Rock and Roll News. But you know what? I don't walk around telling myself that because I'm not above you. I'm not below you. I'm right here with you every morning at this time. All right?
All right.
I got to go. I got to figure out Matt's analogy.
See ya.
I didn't get it.
Is there a chance you're just making stuff up there?
I didn't get the analogy.
I did not see that coming at all, gents.
What happened?
The show started again. Hey, by the way, this is Mornings with Matt and Bob. We are powered by John.
We got more show to go.
I don't think that sounds as good. I'm going to be honest with you. The Powered by John, I don't think sounds as snappy. If you weren't listening earlier this morning, Bob has suggested that we no longer call Chuy by his nickname, Chuy.
Well, I felt like I did him a disservice in 1997
or whatever when you named him 2000 something.
It was 2008.
When 2008, when I gave him that name, I didn't.
Wait, you didn't show up here until 2008?
April 2008.
You showed up that late in the game?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought you were like a.
I've got some pictures of you from like your first week.
What? Where did you? Who took pictures of
I did.
you?
I used to take a lot of pictures in the day. It was a 2 megapixel digital camera in 2008. It was before we all had cell phones. What year did the iPhone come out?
Matt?
That was after 2008, wasn't it?
No, it was 2008. 2008 was actually that. Maybe that was the year. 2005? I don't know. Why are you? What? That has nothing to do with where we're talking about.
I know. Go ahead. Well, you started saying that earlier today.
Powered by John, I think he started with. We were going to talk about the new shows we're watching.
It was announced in 2007, the first iPhone.
We've been doing. Did I talk to you guys already about Leroy, Texas? Gotta see it. Great movie.
Oh, you did bring it up at
Amaya's yesterday?
At Amaya's.
Yeah, Leroy, Texas. You got to rent it. You got to pay for it.
What is it about?
A hitman and a private investigator and klutzes and idiots. It's a comedy.
Yeah, it sounds funny.
With murder.
You said your wife didn't like it, so I don't know. If
my wife was just like, I'm not sure if I like. I thought it was great.
It's like, when does Lewis come into the story?
There is no Lewis. It's not Leroy in Lewis, Texas. It's Leroy, Texas.
Where is Leroy, Texas? Oh, it's kind of west. Or no, kind of east. No, it's kind of central.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. People say West Texas,
it's kind of
East
north,
Texas.
but south. I would call it central.
It's in the heart. It's in the heart.
But it's not a movie about Leroy, Texas. It's a movie about, like I said,
near Waco,
a hitman and. Oh, see, no, that's Leroy, Texas. That's different than Leroy, Texas.
Oh, how do you spell it? Oh, R-O...
No, I'm just teasing you.
I don't recognize anybody.
I didn't know if it was
name?
There's a bunch of no names except for Steve Zahn you would recognize, and you would recognize... I'm just telling you this right now. Really good movie, but it's a small movie. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, it's a small, fun, handcrafted movie.
Okay.
But... I would just watch it. You don't have to know what it's about. That's the thing. Why do we have that hesitation where we can't watch something unless we already know this? Like, what's nice about it is I knew nothing about the story and it just revealed itself.
Wow, there was a movie. This is weird. There was a movie with what's her name? That's in all the Coen Brothers movies. Why can't I never remember her name? Where she played a sheriff, but the movie poster was exactly the same as this. With a neon sign,
Blood
street
Simple?
sign. No, it was after long after.
Was it a Coen Brothers movie?
No, but then a guy like digging a grave underneath the sun like that. Like, I gotta find.
Oh, it was the 3 Billboards or something.
Yeah,
like that?
something like that.
And Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, I love me some Sam Rockwell.
That was a good ass movie.
He's an American treasure.
Well,
but the poster for Leroy, Texas, reminds me a lot of that poster.
My wife has me going through something called Movie Monday, where we watch a kind of a new release every Monday, and then on Wednesday, we do Western Wednesday. Last night, Fistful of Dollars.
That's a long one, isn't it?
Your wife sat through that and watched that?
She did. She asked questions the entire movie. Literally the entire movie.
Was she upset that the talking is out of sync?
No, I told her beforehand. I said, hey, by the way, talking's going to be out of sync. And she said, why? And I said, well... It was cheaper back in those days to not run in, and because they knew they were going to dub it straight to Italian. She goes, well, why were they going to dub it to Italian? I said, well, because it's a spaghetti western. And she goes, well, what does that have to do with spaghetti westerns? I said, well, because the spaghetti westerns were all filmed. They were Italian companies. And she goes, that's what spaghetti western means?
They were shot in Italy.
And I said, yes, they were shot in Italy, and they were made by Italian companies. They were made outside of the Hollywood system.
Most of the actors were Italian.
So then she said, well, then, so is Clint Eastwood Italian? And I said, well, no, they hired Clint Eastwood. And she said, well, why did they hire such a big, giant actor? And I said, well, he wasn't a giant actor at the time. This is in the early 60s, and this kind of one. And then that led to, this is literally one of the questions she asked me. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I don't know. I love Karen.
You're not going to be able to go home after this show.
I'm not kidding you.
That's a 2-hour movie, right?
Yeah.
Sergio Leone made a 2-hour movie, and my wife asked questions from the beginning until the very end of the movie. And one of the questions she asked me last night was, "Is that a famous whistler?" Because of the whistling that goes on and who's the guy that did all that?
Ennio Morricone, my favorite. That's what you got to trip to, by the way.
But well, that's from a different movie, right? And this one, it just goes, wow. Yeah. And she goes, "Is that a famous whistler? Like, why are we having
like Zamfir? Is that a pan flute?"
And she goes, "Is it different whistlers throughout the movie?" I go, "Honey, why the F would I know the answer to is that a famous whistler?" And she goes, "Well, why is the whistling? People know that whistling." And I said, "Well, yes, because it's that Ennio Morricone he did the music and he liked that. It felt like a Western. Well, why did it feel like a Western? Well." And I was trying to explain a lot of what you think of as Westerns came from this. This wasn't emulating something else. This created its own feel. It was a blast, actually.
Iconic.
I couldn't stop laughing because some of the questions she asked
Did she ever ask what was his name? The man with no name?
She didn't, but they call him Joe a couple times.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, but he is known as the man with no name.
Here's the thing is those Westerns have the pacing where you can have a bunch of interruptions. So.
I know. Well, I think it's
fine.
Well, there's so little dialogue because they knew they were going to be dubbing it anyway but there was just like, well, why are the enemies, if they hate each other, why do they live so close to one another? Like that. Well, that's the whole point is that it's trying to live right. That when you have to live that close to your enemy, that is very trying. It's a difficult thing to do. That's the point that it's bringing up is that all of us, how do we better get it? Anyway, it was kind of a blast.
Doing a Western theme each week?
Every Wednesday we do
What are you leading up to? I feel like you're leading up to something.
You got to see The Unforgiven.
No,
she knows that I happen to love Westerns. I really like it. But not just, they don't even have to be in the Old West. You can make arguments that things like Star Wars is a traditional Western. You can make those arguments that...
we're in Texas. We know what Western means to us is,
No, I actually think...
It's got to be a horse opera.
Got to be some dust.
Yeah.
I think that The Hero's Tale is Joseph Conrad... Not Joseph Conrad. What was his name? The guy that did all that.
Heart of Darkness?
I think most of those are like the Odyssey.
That's. I thought it was...
Those are Westerns. That's what made a Western. They really are... They are heroes' journeys.
Have she seen The Searchers yet? Have you seen The Searchers?
She's never seen Westerns. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to get into.
The original True Grit?
Well, here's what happened. She watched Yellowstone, and then she watched, which she kind of liked, but then we watched that one that's the precursor, the 1893 or something, and she really liked that.
That's a gateway.
She likes costumes. She likes period pieces, stuff like that. So I think she was like, I would like more Westerns. I'm going to turn. There's a lot of great Westerns out there that aren't just shoot 'em ups, and I'll turn her on to those later. We have our whole lives ahead of us. We have all the Wednesdays in the world.
I like that. Western Wednesdays.
If you guys want to send suggestions, you can do that as well. I'm going to turn her on to things like Slow West, which is a really fantastic Western.
There's some funny. Would City Slickers count?
Sure.
Or Wagons East?
Here's what's funny is that this movie, Leroy, Texas, I told my wife, we watched it on Monday, I said, this is technically, to me, is a Western. And she goes, well, no, it's not. It's not in the old, in her mind, she wants the Western to be in the Old West.
I feel like you're forcing her to do stuff she doesn't want to do. She wouldn't just give
That's
her,
what marriage is.
Feed her some real Westerns like The Searchers or The Unforgiven or something like that or Silverado. That was a banger.
She's picked all the movies. What are you talking about? I'm forcing her to do things she doesn't want to do.
You're teaching her this is not really this samurai movie is really a Western.
She picked the movie. I don't know why.
Tombstone's the best one, so that should be the last one, I guess.
Tombstone is better than Unforgiven?
It's a tough. Maybe I'm in the.
How about Silverado?
What about Two Mules? Has she seen Two Mules for Sister Sarah yet?
No, she hasn't seen two. She also hasn't
seen. That's a deep cut.
What's that one?
It's Clint Eastwood deep cut.
There's one called like Gulliver's Gulch or something like that. There's a bunch of really bad Westerns too, and I'm going to try to steer her away from that. I've seen almost every Western. Not every Western. I mean, in the 50s and 60s, I skipped a lot, but. I mean, there are great Westerns out there, and I'll turn her on to a lot of them.
All right.
I think our fans probably go crazy for Westerns.
I like a good Western. They don't make enough of them.
Call a quick suggestion. We got a minute.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say the man with no name, they call him Manco, because if you actually watch the movie, that means one-armed man. He does everything but shoot with his left hand. Like he lights his cigars, he plays cards. He only uses his right hand to shoot.
Also, why can't we wear as men poncho? Why can't we? The last guy to really rock a good poncho was Stevie Ray Vaughan. Why can't we?
My wife
why
said
can't
last
we
night,
wear ponchos?
It was functional, right?
My wife said, "Oh, you should get one of those sweaters," which in itself is adorable.
Yeah, that's so.
But I was also like, I don't know. I mean, that seems like that's a lot of look. That's a lot of look just to wear out to the McDonald's on a weekend. But maybe I will get one, quote unquote, one of those sweaters.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
wish
Bush Cassidy and
oh no, that's a classic,
incredible,
classic.
Raindrops.
I haven't watched a good Western in a while. I might come over, Aaron.
Hey guys, love the show. Good morning.
Morning.
I saw a Western just last week, and it's funny that you're having this topic on, but The Homesman is a great Western with a really great cast.
Great, because I don't know that one.
I do not know that one either.
The Homesman. It's not a shoot-'em-up Western either.
2014? Tommy Lee Jones.
What?
Yeah. It's got a great cast, and what got me to watch it...
It's a thriller.
It said that this might be the description included this. It might be the best Western since Unforgiven.
Okay.
I love Unforgiven. But
I'll check it out.
Like it.
Yeah, I mean, even like, would you consider Hell or High Water to be a Western, even though it's set in modern day?
Yeah.
Modern day, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We gotta get. Let's do some local area headlines, please.
All right.
Lean in now for some. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy. Thick headlines.
Without a doubt, the biggest story yesterday, they were planned protests at UT. And like some scene out of 1960, like they're tearing down the Frank Irwin Center, but they can't get rid of the ghost of Frank Irwin.
Crazy.
A lot of you are not from long-term Austin. A lot of you weren't alive in 1969. I am included in that group, but I went to UT and I know the history of Frank Irwin, and I know that Frank Irwin decided to bring out bulldozers and bulldoze down trees that had students in the trees. He believed that nothing should stand in the way of the progress of the university, not even students protesting about cutting down trees and then climbing and sitting in the trees. That was their sit-in protest. The university itself said, hey, let's let this calm down. Let's take some time and let it calm down. We're not in a huge hurry. After all, it's students' lives, and all we're doing is cutting down some trees to build a bigger football stadium. There were more important things in life. And Frank Irwin showed up, Board of the Regents, and said, there's nothing more important than the future of this university. And he jumped in some bulldozers and said, F it! And he tore down the trees with the students in it. God rest his soul. The West Mall, if you ever visit the West Mall, has giant planters, gorgeous planters filled with trees. Those did not used to exist. In fact, the whole West Mall used to be an open space, but the Board of Regents realized it's too easy for students to protest and fill those areas. Let's put a bunch of planters and stuff, and then it makes it harder for any kind of protests to happen. I feel like protesting is almost a rite of passage for college students. There was a protest planned yesterday by the Palestinian Solidarity Committee of Austin. I'm not going to dig deep into the politics of the current issues going on in the Levant and inside of...
No, this is about America today.
Well, the reason I'm not going to go into it is because the majority of people who are very angry about what is happening currently in Gaza, because we're very bad at education, most of them, if you ask them about the 1948 Arab-Israeli war, they don't know what that is. They don't know what the Fayadeen insurgency is. They don't know what the Suez crisis is. They don't know what the Six-Day War is. They don't know what the War of Attrition is. They do not know what the Yom Kippur War is. They do not know what the First Intifada or the Second Intifada is. They don't know what the 82 Lebanon War is. They don't know what the South Lebanese conflict is. They don't know what the Gaza War is. They don't know the Gaza. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that this is about the second Gaza war. They don't know about the third Gaza war. So what I'm trying to get at is that this is a very long story getting to where we are right now. And for a lot of people, they want history to just be the last 10 years because it makes it a little more convenient. It's a very messy situation. The problem, I think, is when you have a student protest, we have a right to protest, and students have a right to protest. And you know who has a right to tell the students not to protest? Maybe the university. After all, it's their
property.
Police showed up en masse yesterday, and when I say police, you can look at the patches on their arms. They were state police, DPS troopers. They showed up. I don't think it helps that the governor of the state was tweeting out at the same time, all of these protesters deserve to be in jail. A lot of the protesters were roughed up. I do know that the governor is a big proponent of breaking up BDS, which is Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions Movement. I don't think that the governor has been around a college student lately, because all that's happened is instead of a protest happening yesterday and then everybody going on with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead, we are now going to have a very long, protracted conflict on that campus, because it was
despicable. From what the couple of clips that I've seen, I didn't watch a ton of it, but I'm just like, why is this happening? Is Texas not in America all of a sudden? What is happening here? And it was very confusing. And you may or may not agree with whatever the hell they're protesting about.
But to disagree with the right to protest is very un-American.
It's one of the most un-American things I can think of, yeah.
I think that this particular student group has made some huge errors when it comes to narrative control. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also know that this student group is made up of students. People who are 18, generally 18 to 21 or 22. And younger people do make mistakes. But part of growing up and becoming someone who in the future is going to move the world is you have to be allowed to go through those mistakes, learn from them, and move on. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for perfection from 20-year-olds. The right to protest should not be infringed upon. And if so, if the protest had become violent, or if the protest was breaking the law, then I understand police coming out. This kind of just seemed like busting skulls is what it looks like.
Yeah, no, it seemed more the Handmaid's Tale type thing of someone doing the dictator's bidding.
And it's not going to. This is only setting up and now bringing in people who I don't think even sided with this particular protest. I think now will certainly side with it because it makes the group very sympathetic when you see the insane show of force that showed up on property yesterday.
I saw a cameraman just get thrown to the ground. I don't know who he was, but I mean, hats off to you. Thank you for documenting. I mean, but that's crazy. It was nuts to me just to see that.
It was. I feel very close to that university. It was quite upsetting.
This is your university, Bob.
Bob's very quiet because Bob doesn't like to get into this stuff, I don't think.
It's not even about like the conflict somewhere else at this point.
I'm not talking. That's what I'm saying.
It didn't even make Google News.
It's not true. It made national news
I'm
big
looking
time.
at Google. I'm looking at Google News. I'm looking at local headlines. It didn't even show up.
It made Fox News. It made CNN. It made everything.
But maybe they're burying it. I'm just telling you, that was the first source I went to, and I was like, I scrolled through all the stories.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm hoping that cooler heads will prevail. I'm hoping that the regents at the University of Texas will, even though a lot of that is administered by the state government, I'm hoping they will talk to the governor and say, look, this is not going to help us cool the situation. I know for a fact it wasn't the university. The university does not control DPS. The university controls UTPD. And I know from statements coming out from they basically are caught in a rock and a hard place. So we'll see what happens. An Austin startup is tunneling for underground deliveries. They raised $13 million. They want to build a series of small tunnels under the city to put robots in it to deliver food.
I like it.
God. They're called Pipe Dream. That's the name of the company, which, perfect name. I've always wanted a system of small tunnels that operate like the bank machines in the drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to put my body in it, and then I want to go, and I want to go straight downtown, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we keep doing stuff to help wealthy people get food. I don't understand. We have Uber Eats, we have Grubhub.
Why can't they just learn how to cook?
We have Favor. We have all these things to help wealthy people get food. And still we don't have a grocery store in Del Valley.
Well,
I understand.
Will the pipe go there?
I'm a capitalist. I understand how the market works. But I also just would like to see why are we seem to be coming up with the craziest ideas in the world to make sure that wealthy people get a hot chicken sandwich.
This country worships money more than anything. So if that can get you more Uber Eats, more convenient, as quick as possible, making the money faster, and more of it, then yep.
Don't we already have tunnels? I thought there were tunnels under ground where the politicians could go.
There are tunnels, but they don't currently hold
to their girlfriends' apartments or
there
whatever.
Are those. There's tunnels all underneath the UT system that used to carry air. I know that because one night some friends and I took mushrooms and snuck into them.
Aren't they gonna when they make these tunnels? Aren't they gonna collide with the other tunnels?
That's part of the problem.
And why are we even tunneling when the ground is so hard here? It's all limestone.
And then you have to go underneath the rabbit tunnels, and you have to go underneath the tunnels where the lizard people live.
Why are we going by air? What happened to drone delivery?
It's happening. It's 2 Walmarts in Texas.
Okay, so why can't we deliver food by drone?
It's happening.
So Walmart won't hire someone to check me out, but they will hire drones to deliver stuff to my house?
I believe so, yeah. Now, aren't the salamanders here that we can't dig up stuff?
Are the Walmart drones paid the same way that the Walmart cashiers are, where they pay them under so little that they all can apply for food stamps? Mm-hmm. And so every American subsidizes every worker at Walmart. Are we also subsidizing every drone?
I don't know. I'm going to have a free drone soon.
Let's get to the fun stuff that's happening around town this weekend. Tonight, the La Dame d'Escoffier is
easy for you to say.
It's not easy for me to say. It's presenting You Grill Girl. It is it features all women and non-binary chefs and grill masters. The event is happening at Franklin's, and it helps to raise money and funds to support other women and non-binary chefs. A very good friend of the show will be participating tonight. Jess Pryles will be there. Nice. It's free for kids under 13. Adults, $90 to $130 is what you're paying at Franklin Barbecue. Is happening tonight at 7 p.m.
What?
I know that's not for everybody, but it is a really good event. It helps out a great charity, and you get to eat some great bites from some of the best chefs and beverage and hospitality masters out there.
I need an invite.
Well, I just gave you the invite. It's not a private event.
I need a ticket.
Well, you don't ask for free tickets to charity events, dude.
That's
uncool.
Oh, it's a charity event.
Yeah, I just said. Mark it down, CJ.
We'll give what we can.
Eeyore's birthday party is happening tomorrow. If you are in Austin and you've never been to Eeyore's birthday party, you're not an Austinite. I said it out loud.
Damn.
If you've never been to Eeyore's birthday party, you are not an Austinite.
If you haven't taken your top off at Eeyore's birthday
I've been in the drum circle a couple of times.
Take the kids, teach the kids how to roll a joint, teach the kids how to not bathe, teach the kids what patchouli's all about.
Buy them some bongos.
I will say this. Over the last 20 years, it really has transitioned into far more of a family event than it ever used to be. All proceeds benefit local 501c3 organizations. There's music, face painting, henna, T-shirts are being sold. There's a costume contest, egg toss, sack race. By sack race, you probably will see some guy scrotum while you're there. It's a very weird event, too, where even I can remember back in the 90s, you can watch somebody smoke a joint right next to a cop, and the cops just kind of turn a blind eye on that day.
That's freedom.
But I don't want to make it out to say it has become a much more cleaned up and family-friendly event over the years. The ne'er-do-well stuff tends to happen in one quarter, and the family stuff happens in another corner. And I'm telling you right now, it's a fun thing for the whole dang old dang family. Just go, have a good time, get a beer.
If anything,
you're gonna have to explain everything.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain everything on the ride home.
Why did that guy?
Why was he wearing just a sweat sock?
Here's something else I'll tell you. I've taken my kids twice, and guess what questions they asked?
What?
Can we stop and get more ice cream on the way home? They had no questions. Nice. Kids are much more accepting than adults about things.
Well, they've already seen it all on the internet without us knowing.
Maybe. Austin Psych Fest is going on this weekend as well. If you're looking for some really fun psych music, it goes on tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday at the Far Out Lounge and Stage, which is down south. Tickets are $75 to $165 and features great music from like Kurt Vile, Courtney Barnett. The Black Angels, of course, who are very important. And then I would say go check out All Them Witches if you want to have a really good time. That's my nod in all of this. And finally, the Austin Blues Festival is happening this weekend. Austin Blues Festival. Speaking of Austin Blues Festival, put on by Antones. This is the biggest year they're having so far, and it's happening at the Waterloo Amphitheater. If you'd like to go, I have a pair of tickets right now. This is featuring Brittany Howard, Buddy Guy, Jimmy Vaughn, and more. And nothing says Austin like Antone's, home of the blues and their big festival. If you call right now, I can get a pair of tickets into your hand. Just call us right now at 512-834-0937, and we'll get tickets into somebody's hand.
Here we go. Most show to go. Mornings with Matt and Bob, powered by Chuy. Weekend's coming up. You may have time to binge watch some TV. We got a few recommendations for you. Matt's already recommended Wednesday Western Night, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, my wife started. My wife Tuesdays. It's Western Wednesdays, baby.
What are you watching?
I broke down yesterday and finally, I'd been riding Another Family's Disney Plus for a while, and I've been riding your Hulu for a while.
Yeah.
But you have Hulu with ads, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I decided to break down and get the bundle.
Tell everybody.
I got the bundle, the Disney Hulu bundle, but I did not tack on ESPN. I said, you know what? My family deserves this. I think $20 for 2 channels. A little steep, though. A little steep. No ads, though.
You really love them.
Because I know there's some Beatles stuff coming up on Disney, and there's some other rock stuff coming up on Disney. I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Awards is on Disney now. And then I wanted to watch Shogun on Hulu. And I know there'll be more Bear coming. So I wanted to get ready. So I legally now have, in my name, Hulu and Disney Plus.
I'm getting the illegal box if you want one.
You got to tell me about it. No, I would never. That's not stealing is not my brand.
Oh, okay.
Except I power watched 3 episodes of Shogun. They're about an hour each. First episode's hour 10. They're about an hour each. And it's very good, I think. It kept me watching anyway. Like, I don't know where it's going to go. They're saying it's not a remake of the Richard Chamberlain one per se. But they're saying it's the exact same storyline as Tom Cruise' Last Samurai.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's many articles about it.
Now, like exacts or just a lot of crossover?
No, they're like, no, it's like, how did they get away with it?
Is that, I mean,
it's the same. You know, we talk about there's different kinds of movies. Matt talks about there's the hero's return. And this is not really a hero's returning thing because he's not really returning. He's just ending up in Japan, but this is one of those white savior movies.
So I'm not the best at history.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Did this happen at some point where Tom Cruise or any anonymous?
I mean, I don't know if anyone's named a specific white man, as they say.
Is it in the history books?
I don't think so.
Was it foretold?
But this is what they call a savior. There's male savior movies where a male saves a woman. That was very popular in the day,
right?
And then there's savior movies where a guy goes into a new culture and saves a culture. You know.
There's female savior movies like Leaving Las Vegas, where a young lady saves a man's life,
right? And that's another category. But yeah, it's basically. And I don't remember too much about The Last Samurai, but
I never saw it, so
you don't like Tom Cruise. But
it's true.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's kind of Mission Impossible.
Historically accurate?
I don't know. I wasn't alive back then, Chuy. This takes place in 1600s.
Oh, yeah.
1600s.
He wasn't born until the 1700s, Chuy.
In feudal Japan, if that's the right,
Yeah.
All about warring families and clans or whatever they were called. I can't remember. There's a lot to learn. I found myself going on the phone looking up words and phrases and things that they don't feel like they have to explain.
So the lead is the white guy that comes in to the...
Well, I guess he's the focal point. You experience the movie through him, which makes sense because you don't know that culture.
Right.
And so he goes there to plunder, and pillage.
But
That's his original goal. And it's all about Catholics and Protestants and the Portuguese and the English and how they decide. There was a time in the world where nations and empires or dynasties, like the English or the Portuguese or Spain, would just look at the map and divvy it up and divide it up and go, you get Japan and you get China.
Okay.
Portuguese influence around the world is pretty important.
You think that was fair that people could decide
Probably
the fate of?
And it's funny because when you look at Portugal,
Other continents?
it's such a small country now, and
Well, England's a small island. They had the greatest navy that ever was, probably. Well, at the time, anyway.
I'm sorry. Is our conversation making you hungry?
It's the time that I eat.
Wait, you've selected 8:28 in the middle of a segment to be the time that you eat?
I'm getting ready.
We're sitting here talking about Japan, and you're getting ready to eat?
I need the protein. I can feel it.
Chewy just opened up what is that, a protein bar, a candy bar? It's a candy bar.
A protein bar, see? But it's crispy apple. That's good.
There's no apple. I bet there's no apple.
I bet there's
zero apple.
They haven't even shown that bar an apple. That bar's never seen an apple.
So who's the Shogun?
No. Mister, I'm going to open a candy bar while I'm sitting here in the middle of a segment. I'm just going to open a candy bar.
30 grams of protein.
Your stomach's going to hurt. You better drink some water with that.
Crispy apple, just like apple pie.
Anyway, there's a lot of it. The only problem you're going to have with Shogun, and I've already told you guys off the air, you're going to think your television set is broken.
How did these guys get enough protein to be these warriors? I don't understand.
Wait.
If they don't have a crispy apple mix.
What's the problem he's going to have? He might drop the remote control because he's got all the food juice on his fingers? Are there enough breaks in the show for him to get down the street and get a little snack? Apparently he gets hungry very early in the...
I've been meaning to watch Shogun. So.
One of my pet peeves about shows like Shogun is that they do that blackout thing every 20 minutes or so.
Because they made it in case it could go to commercial television.
It goes to commercial TV and they can fit commercials in there. So it just blacks out for a few seconds.
I'm out.
In like chapters almost.
Oof, I hate
you're
that.
going to think that your TV's broken. It's
Why?
In super HD 4K Ultra Vision or whatever. But they used a weird anamorphic lens, and it makes the top of the picture and the bottom of the picture, except for the process special effects shots, it makes the bottom and the top of the picture blurry, fuzzy, like fuzzy.
It sounds like you have nothing good to say about this show.
Well, I just don't know how they made a choice like that. I don't know how they got the first...
What I'm saying is...
I don't know how they got the first
You've said
dailies
nothing...
back.
You're like, I'm watching this show. Here's nothing positive about it.
Let's just keep shooting with this anamorphic lens that makes everything blurry. Let's just keep using it. I don't know how they... I don't know what choice...
So should we watch it? Apparently it looks bad. It's not good. It's a story we've seen already. What's the point? And why are you watching? Are you just bored with life now?
I wanted to watch it before you told me about it.
And now your recommendation has turned me way off on it.
So I probably won't now.
How do you describe this show to somebody if they're like, oh, you do a show? What's it about?
Oh. Well, you might have a point, but I watched 3 episodes in one night, so it must be the story.
Happened.
The storytelling is pretty good, and some of the characters are pretty good. I don't know who this dude is who the white guy is. I don't know where he was from.
All right, then don't nobody watch it. But I'll tell you what everybody should be watching.
What's that?
Ladies too. You know, everybody. Baby Reindeer.
Is that a series or a movie?
Is that a cartoon?
A series on Netflix, and I have been loving it. I binged like 4 or 5 episodes.
Baby
and it's
Reindeer.
not a kid show. It's a
Baby Reindeer.
It is a psycho stalker show. And it goes through this guy that's a bartender. He's trying to be a comic, but he's keeping it low key. He's got like some secrets. I think he flirted with this woman maybe once, and then she took it to heart, and then it turns out she's like a crazy. It's supposed to be a true story, but it takes you through that.
Is it about a catfish situation?
No, catfish is completely different. That's when they tell you that you look like something or you're something, and then
Who's the baby reindeer?
show
What's
up
the
as
reference?
somebody.
Do we know
She
yet?
calls him that in all of her stalker.
Ooh, that's weird.
Oh, bro, it's so.
That kind of gives me the
I
heebie-jeebies
didn't know
right there.
what to expect.
Baby
I was like,
reindeer.
what is this going to be?
Does he look like a
And
reindeer?
then I'm hanging on. I'm like, I got to see another one.
Wait.
Another one. It's
Are
so
you
good.
one of those people, Bob, that gets hung up on a name and you have to know what the name means before you can
You don't
watch
know how to have
the?
a good time. It's good. Don't think about the name.
No, I just always put myself in the...
Which one's the Shogun?
I always put myself in the shoes
Which
of
one's
the
the
writer,
Shogun?
and like, why did they think of that?
So the writer is, because it says it's a true story. I mean, the writer is
Based on
the
it.
main person, so it's
Okay.
based on whatever.
Baby reindeer. Good.
And what platform
I'm
is
loving
that
it. I'm
on?
not like 5 episodes
Good.
in.
Good acting, or are you just liking this, or is it just because it's got hot booty in it or something?
There's no
'Cause
hot
sometimes-
booty in it.
Okay.
In fact, once you get to like episode 4 or something, it can be triggering. Like it gets real deep and dark.
Oh,
too.
they're saying that they're the people making baby reindeer say, "Hey, everybody, stop trying to identify the show's characters in real life. Like this might be based on a real comic and a real person."
Yeah, I think it is. Because
I wonder
it
who they're
says that in
saying.
the beginning. Because it is just like
They're saying, please stop trying to.
Who are some of the names?
If it, how about don't make the show if it's actually going to be horrible for somebody?
no, not the characters. They want to know who the real person
That's
is.
what I'm
it's about.
saying. So maybe don't make the show at all if it's about
But
somebody.
It's no different than a 60 Minutes about some stalker or a 2020, and they remake the whatever. I mean, this.
It says here, Netflix went to great lengths to protect the identity of the people involved, though some people have already been outed as being the possible person.
I guess they do go
One
into
was an
detail about
award-winning.
some of the-
I'm not going to say the name because it's not for me to say, but this is interesting. This goes deep.
Does it? I haven't read anything about it. I just watched it last night because some people recommended it, and
An
I
award,
ended up loving it.
an award-winning actor, writer, and director has been wrongly accused of being Darien. They say.
Oh, that's
That'd be
that's
bad.
right. He is kind of like a failed comedian. You'll love some of the stuff that comes from that too. It's really good.
Why will I love stuff about a failed comedian?
Don't you like watching people die on stage?
What the F is that supposed to be?
I'm going to step out and
What
get a snack.
the hell is that
You want some of
supposed
this
to
crispy
be?
apple?
I know.
That is, I don't even, Bob, protect me here. He just said, oh, you'll love it. It's about a failed comedian.
I think you like sometimes watching people die on stage and really die.
Well, I've got a show about a guy who...
Let's not do this. I'm not...
Not do what? How do you know where I'm going? You don't know where I'm going.
You tired, Bob? Are you watching Shogun?
I need a protein bar.
This is why I eat around this time. This is our.
This doesn't sound like the kind of show that I would enjoy watching. It sounds like it's one of those cringe kind of shows where the characters get deeper and deeper, and you're just like, holy cow.
Have you seen The Curse? Did you get through The Curse?
The
No.
curse is cringe.
Dude, The Curse makes me so uncomfortable. I still haven't finished it. It's the longest I've ever taken to finish a series because I'll watch an episode and then afterwards I'm like, oof, I need like a 2-week break from that.
Yeah, Patriot was not The Patriot, but Patriot was the last show that I watched that was kind of like this. That every episode the guy gets deeper and deeper. How's he going to get out of this? Deeper and deeper and deeper. And you're going, stop.
All
Just
right,
stop.
Baby Reindeer.
Baby reindeer. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. It's going to make
a
me
good-
uncomfortable.
There might be a couple of scenes, but it's more like frustrating, and then you grow empathy.
I need a
and
good
then, like, all of
comedy. Do
this.
you have a good comedy, Matt? You're a comedian.
Yeah, I just
You're
told
a failed
you.
comedian.
Leroy, Texas.
Good.
Leroy,
That's-
Texas
I
is
didn't know
funny.
that was a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's funny.
Well, it makes sense because Steve Zahn is very funny.
He's very funny in it.
Yeah, let's take a caller if they've seen a caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I wanted to make a suggestion for Western Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, please.
How about Blazing Saddles?
I could put it in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
that might
it's-
work.
It's in there. It would.
Definitely not too much.
You think Kara's ever seen it?
Blazing Saddles? No.
Well, she's going to have a lot of questions.
What are you doing today, man?
Why is there a toll booth in the middle of a desert? Somebody's got to go get an S-load of dimes.
Thank you, man.
One of my favorite lines in all of Moviedom.
Wow.
They can't go around the toll booth. They got to go through it, and then somebody's got to go back and get some dimes.
How uncomfortable is my wife going to get when that guy up top yells, "The sheriff is"?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey caller, what's up?
Hey, who is this? Hey, Chuy.
Oh, is this David?
Why right here?
I
He can't
was
write that
avoiding
number
it. He was
down.
calling all morning, and
He's doing this to you on
it
purpose.
usually
Matt.
says David, but look.
No, don't try to make me feel bad about it. Do your job.
All right.
Do your job. Stop eating on mic and do your job.
David, we got 30 seconds.
Go. Hey, I give you kudos on your explanation of the UT events going on.
Careful now.
Okay.
All right, is this going to get funny?
Okay. And then, no, I'm not being funny.
You ain't mad, are you?
No, I love y'all. And then, you know how HEBs get built? How do they decide to build them?
How?
I'm not making a joke. I worked 45 years for them. They go up in a helicopter with several realtors, okay? And then they go, what do you think they're going to do in this land? Is how much growth? And I know Del Valley's growing, and like Liberty Hill could use an HEB, okay? And there's something else. They'll make it quick.
This is actually the funniest he's been in a while.
I think it's too highbrow for me. I'm not getting it.
David, the entire city of Austin just fell asleep in their cars during your phone call.
I know, but be careful. I got another one. Y'all's show has gone up since I called y'all from 30 to 45% watched or listened to. So I think I need to be able to thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How did HEB become successful with this guy on their payroll for 45 years?
I don't know. Are you the buddy that dresses up as the buddy?
No. There's a unit director in Bastrop that said in Albertsons, we work together. Y'all ought to be blessed to have David as a customer service. You know, he's that good. And I'm not playing.
Albertsons.
I'm not bragging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked there for a while.
You ought to be blessed to have David as a customer service. That's not even a sentence, David.
Well, no, because I would work in the milk department, and I was good with people asking a question, you know.
Not answering them. He was just good at listening to the question.
And then going, hey you mad at me?
Yeah.
Hey, Chuy.
Yes, sir.
Last one time a lady had low gas, and she come up to the store, and they told me to get $5 worth and help her out. I did. You know what she asked me?
What's that?
Do I got enough gas to pick up the kids at 4? And I said, I don't know. Go get some. You know, what the heck?
I don't know either. I don't know either, man. All right, I'm going to. All right. Can I eat this bar
That's
already?
on you, man. That calls out you and your buddy.
You own that entire phone call, dude.
That's on you.
I'm replaying it tomorrow.
I feel like you guys are friends.
Bob's always says stuff like, well, I'm worried that our nickname has held you back in the building. But this is what they're going to pull up and go, hey, dude, one of the reasons we don't have you running your own show right now is you let this caller through, dude. Look, can we talk about your sense of judgment or anything?
His jokes were thinkers to me.
Here's the thing. If you put him first in a stack of callers, we can dig our way out. But when you put him up against the break, we have nowhere to go.
We're taking
nowhere
the
to
L.
go.
There's no extra time.
I think he found a way to make his caller ID not say David.
I think you found a way to try to feel better about taking his calls.
Do you video game with him or something? Is he one of your guys like Floppy? And
Yeah, we do. We played Dead Fallout together.
There's a part of me that thinks that he never exhaled. He inhaled once, and he's still holding it in.
Thank you, David.
Everybody's telling me I should watch Fallout, too. That's the other one that people
I
say.
don't know.
The rest of my family's, the people that hate me and that live in my house, they are all watching Fallout right now.
Should I play the game first?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think so. I think it's like a Western, isn't it?
Oh, add it to the list.
I don't even know. It's on you, man.
David, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not on me.
You guys go to lunch. No, it's not.
I'm sorry about that.
Take him to lunch.
I'm apologizing to David.
I think you guys could be besties.
April right now, spling.
God. You can start again. I don't. Take 2.
It's okay. Regroup for a second. No problem. Go ahead. Take it again.
Mornings with Matt and Bob presents Nods to the Odd.
A 9-year-old boy has won a European seagull imitating contest. He's known as Seagull Boy. He wore a full seagull regalia.
Oh, that's cute. Look at that.
Showed off his skills at the European Championship gull screeching event in Depan, Belgium.
That's not fair. The judges shouldn't get to look at him because that's cute. You might give it to him just because.
He took up gull screeching after being nipped by a seagull during a trip to the beach as a child. He said, I wanted to make the noise to remember I got bit by one as a child, but I like seagulls. I don't hate them.
That's kind of like Spider-Man. Is he like Seagull Man?
Yeah, his parents learned about...
It's like Batman, kind of.
Yeah, it's a very Marvel-esque kind of origin story. His parents had heard about the competition in Belgium. A stranger overheard the child practicing his calls in public and suggested, hey, should he enter the contest? He scored a total of 92 out of 100 points.
Wow.
Won the juvenile category. I want to hear his gull cry. Now, you know, I take this personally because I happen to think you guys know what my special talent is, right?
You are the top... what was the bird?
Was it a bird?
It was a bird of some sort.
Now I can't remember what his...
Wow.
Not a parakeet. It was a...
I just feel like sometimes we're supposed to be the three musketeers, but I feel a lot of times like it's two musketeers and then one snicker.
It's not an owl, but it's the other one.
Oh, doesn't he go, Polly wants a cracker?
No.
It's like you guys
That's
don't care about it. Like, we're just... I don't understand why there's this grotesque...
Types of bird.
Trough between the two of us.
It's
the three of us.
It's racially motivated.
So you guys have decided to circle wagons. First of all,
No, we have to.
What race have you decided you are?
Oh, it's a finch.
It's not a finch.
Oh.
It is a finchive.
It's a warbler of some kind.
What race have you decided that you are that's different than my race, Bob?
The human race.
And you decided I'm not human?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We can continue this argument.
I don't remember. I don't remember that.
I think it's
you're
a
not.
loon.
You're not a different race than me.
The loons,
It's a
Norman.
loon.
The loons.
Boobies? Swallows.
I think it was an owl.
Cuckoos?
Tits?
Nyctibius? Magpie.
Now I can't remember.
Kingfisher.
I know it'll come to me eventually.
Condor. Oh! Albatross.
I don't think it was a bird.
Let's hear. It was a. I do the best bird call of anybody in this room, and it's disgusting that you guys don't remember what I do because it is so good.
It's not a swift. Peafowl. Peafowl.
That's it, actually.
Peafowl.
There you go. I do the peacock. Would you like to hear the seagull boy?
Yeah.
I try really hard to be part of.
No, I don't consider a peacock a bird. It
I
doesn't
don't
fly.
understand why you guys won't let me in the club. I try so hard to be friends with you guys. I really do. And I don't understand why you won't let me in.
Long-tail tit.
Spent too much money on those over the years.
The crowd goes crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Those first screeches, not so much, but then that last part.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
What did he win?
It's my peacock. Pretty damn good.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's pretty damn good is what it is. Go out to Laguna Gloria and tell me if you go, oh, is it Matt Bearden here at Laguna Gloria? Oh, it's actually peafowl. Had no idea. So amazing.
That's pretty good.
Sad news in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Sad news.
Mornings with Matt and Bob presents Nods to the Odd.
Chicago's iconic rat hole is to be no more.
What?
Yeah, Chicago sidewalk landmark called the Rat Hole has been removed from the city. If you weren't...
Is that really it?
I've never been there.
Yeah, have you not seen it? A rat clearly had fallen. They had poured pavement, and it's clear that a rat fell from something and landed in it, and it was like a cartoonishly silly splat of a rat's body.
Yeah, it's a silhouette of his body.
Just like in the Warner Brothers cartoons when they run through a wall. I mean, it's a ridiculous look of a rat that had fallen into the cement. Now, the thing is that it became a pretty big deal. People started coming from all around to take pictures and put it on Instagram, and they were visiting the rat hole the same way they visit the Bean in Chicago, right?
Right.
Or Wrigleyville Field or something. But neighbors started complaining about visitors coming at all hours. They said, now people started leaving coins as well. And they said it's annoying to have these coins all around the sidewalk.
Like good luck?
So the neighborhood argued that the imprint was actually caused by a squirrel, not a rat. And so
Clearly.
people... But I was like, it doesn't matter whether it's a squirrel or a rat.
It's what we say it is.
That's not a squirrel tail.
A squirrel's just a friendly rat.
A furrier rat.
The city of Sidewalk has decided that the whole section is actually what they would call damaged sidewalk, and therefore they will be filling the hole with probably black pitch or something like that.
Well, if they do it carefully, they could still keep the shape. I mean, it would just be filled in, but a different color.
They didn't do that. The crews brought out a giant concrete saw yesterday.
Missed opportunity.
They also brought out a forklift and a truck. They removed an entire slab. It's gone away somewhere. Like a Basquiat, it's street art that's now worth something.
Maybe they'll put it in the Chicago Art Institute there on Michigan.
People said that the portion of the sidewalk was uneven and it was dangerous. I say this is why we can't have any kind of fun whatsoever.
We can't have nice things. We got to go, Chuy.
I want to go eat there so bad and see the Bean or whatever.
Yeah,
cool looking bean, dude.
The chief of staff of the of all this is a guy named Paul Wagasback. Shout out to Ryan Wagasback of Austin fame. There you go.
Huh.
That's the end of that.
That's a darn shame.
Hey.
That's the end of that.
Do we have something similar?
Like other things that get ruined here? Well, do you... Okay,
we
you
had
know
the Terminex bug for a while, and then it got stolen.
You know that big... We had that big stretch. It's if you are going north on Lamar, you've just crossed over the Town Lake. Mm-hmm. It says fair sailing tall boy. Be careful that you might kill someone's kid. There's that piece of street art right there.
Oh, okay.
Fair sailing tall boy. Isn't that what it says? I'm trying to remember. It was spray painted there by an artist woman. Her son was tragically killed by a drunk driver. It's a part of Austin. Okay. It's a part of Austin's soul. Some idiot.
Graffitied over it?
I'm sorry. Let me...
Street artist?
Some poorly informed... No, the city sent somebody out to put the brown paint over it. You know, the brown paint
the
of death?
mixture of all the paints. Yeah.
Luckily, clearer heads prevailed, and the artist did come out. This is in the 90s, came back out and repainted it again. Occasionally, I see somebody tag over it. I think whoever does that should be. Stench? Here's the thing. We all rep Buskar and the Buskar crew here. I've enjoyed seeing Buskar pop around the city, even though I know some people out there write us when we say that, and they get very angry, and they say, you'd feel a lot differently if it was your building tagged.
Buskar
I don't know if I
for
would.
life.
But, and then some people say, we have to do something about Buskar. I hate that guy. It's not that guy. Buskar is clearly a crew. Nobody's getting up.
It's a movement.
No one's doing that many throw-ups in a night. But Stench should have their legs cut off.
Oh.
And
I'm not familiar with their work.
Stench has been doing pieces all over town, but Stench did a huge piece over the top of the Renaissance Market mural back in January. That's the big mural that encompasses all of the city and all of the city's history, done by Carry On and Friends. Mm-hmm. It's been there for 40-some-odd years now. It was very upsetting to see them do that. Dude, don't tag the good stuff in the city with your stupid tags. If you want to tag culverts, that's not a business. I mean, the actual drainage culverts. Go ahead all day long. That's fine.
Do something political now that this protests and stuff happen.
There you go. Do something good with your life.
Tag something cool.
God dang it. I just erased the story about the $29,000 casket. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
Yep.
Mornings with Matt and Bob presents
Nods to the Odd. The Dragula coffin featured in the 1965 episode of the television series The Munsters.
Yep.
It is a custom box frame chassis on an 8-foot fiberglass casket as its bodywork. It's being sold off $29,000.
That wasn't done by Ed Roth, was it?
I don't know who did it. Fuel tank is positioned towards the nose of the vehicle, painted gold to make it look less conspicuous. Other elements that stand out, such as a rip on the tombstone that's there. 29 girth, 1928 casket car.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Is it road legal? Street legal?
It is not really street legal. But there you go.
I remember that.
It just auctioned off for $29,000.
It should be in a museum or something, shouldn't it? Television museum?
Well, that's where it's going, actually, I believe. I believe it is going to a
Why
museum.
wouldn't that
That's
be
why it
in
got
that
purchased.
big... we had the best time at that... there's a big car museum in L.A.
Yeah.
Patterson or the Peterson.
Oh, yeah, I looked into that when I
thing
was
is
going to go.
And then we went down in the basement and see the special collection. They have you can pay extra and go to the special collection.
I
in
would
the
not
basement.
pay extra if somebody said you want to come down to the basement with me in LA. That is
cool.
That is how you end up with a story that you don't feel good about later on in life. And finally, ladies and gentlemen,
Mornings with Matt and Bob presents Nods to the Odd.
A 60-year-old woman, a journalist from Buenos Aires, Argentina, recently won the title of Miss Buenos Aires, and she is qualified for the Miss Argentina beauty pageant.
That woman is 60 years old?
No, it's not this woman. That just happens to be the current Miss Argentina. Oh, wait. That is her. That's her. She's 60.
Alejandra
impressive.
Marissa Rodriguez.
Yes, the 60-year-old woman's youthful looks have already sparked a heated online debate about her age. Many are declaring themselves shocked that the woman is a day over 40. Others claim that she actually has a good chance in the next stage of the race for Miss Universe or the Miss Argentina pageant. The contest will take place May 25th and feature candidates from all over Argentina.
We got to think places like Urban Betty.
She's divorced and she's single, and I think she probably has a good injectress. Would you, let me ask you a question. Would you?
We just said yes. We both said yes.
You would.
You?
Me? No, I'm married. I don't even notice other women. I'm thoroughly in love with my wife, and I only see one woman in the entire world.
She'd make a killing if she put out a line of
like
face products.
Oh, I'm sure,
skin cream products and stuff. I'm sure.
What is it? The Olay? Something Olay?
Oh, yeah, one of those people.
Yeah.
Clinique or somebody.
Clinique, yeah. Maybelline.
That's a brand we haven't heard in a while.
Maybe it's Maybelline. That is today's Odd to the Nod, ladies and gentlemen.
No, nod to the odd.
Whatever. That's my own odd way of saying it. Chuy, what's today's call-in topic?
Today we're going to do a question of the day. And I like this one. I think we're all going to learn something about money management and what's really keeping our generation down. What screams I'm bad with money?
What screams I'm bad with money? That could take us to the end of the show. The Mornings with Matt and Bob are powered by Chuy. Giveaways coming up in about a half an hour. We'll have giveaways for Greta Van Fleet. If that's what you're waiting around for right now, call-in topic.
Yeah.
512-834-0937. What screams you're bad with money?
There's a number of things. But here's the thing, is you can really nitpick.
You can.
And talk about, like, maybe buying bottled waters. I see every walk of life, class, tax bracket, everybody with a bunch of pack of bottled waters at their place. I don't think you do.
You don't think I what?
I don't have bottled waters just hanging around.
No, but what does that mean? Why did you single me out and not talk to Bob?
You're frugal. Bob, I know, has bottled waters probably on the floor.
Nope.
In the garage.
Nope. I don't hoard.
They're not empty.
No, I'm not going to hoard, like, supplies. I know people that do.
Yeah.
You know, that have a bunch of water and all that stuff. I will say this, though, to start. I'll kick it off by saying never, ever, don't, no matter what, listen to any money management kind of money radio shows, or they will make they'll make you feel like everything you've ever done in your life
Was bad.
Was bad.
money.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you bought a book of stamps at the grocery store? Oh, man, you could have saved 5 cents if you had done that online at USPostalService.com, or you could have saved 5 cents. It would just make you feel horrible that you made all these money mistakes. But I'll start off. I'll kick it off by saying your car payment shouldn't be more than your mortgage or your rent.
I don't think it's possible these days.
I think it is.
You don't think what's possible?
For the car payment to be above the rent payment. I mean, it'd have to be, what, $1,300?
Yeah,
You buy a $100,000 car and don't put any money down.
You're making a $2,000 payment or more.
Or more.
People can't be doing that anymore.
Yeah, some people are doing it.
It's called being car poor. Is it house poor? It's called car poor, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You got a cool car, but you're poor as dirt. It's usually a Camaro.
The hard part about
Z-Rock.
that is that you used to be able to argue, like, well, if I see a Porsche in the parking lot of a apartment complex, I know you're bad with money. Except in a town like this, you have tons of people who are like, I'm living in an apartment because I don't want to deal with a house. I'm a single person. I'm making gobs of money. I'd rather be in an apartment right now in my life. So it's not an automatic indicator of bad with money anymore.
Look, I'm bad with I don't even have a lot of money, but I'm bad with the little that I have. And I'll still say, when I see you scratching a lottery ticket over there on the side.
Really?
Sometimes I'm like, you got the $20 joint? That's a whole meal. So I don't know. But I can't judge. We're not judging.
We're not judging.
But what
We're not mad.
screams...
We're not mad.
I ain't mad. What screams I'm bad with money? Christopher.
People that buy all these stupid records. You can get everything on Spotify or all your equipment.
Bob will admit that it's a waste of money,
and
though,
you
right?
buy all this weird stuff.
Yeah, making money off of that. You know that, right?
YouTube don't pay nothing.
What do you mean they don't pay nothing?
Well, what are you making?
He's got a check today.
I got like 7.
Views?
I have like 7 different revenue streams on YouTube.
I know, but
There's subscriptions, there's memberships, there's gifts, there's super chats, there's ad revenue,
Super
there's
chats?
merchandise.
I have to put on a cape.
Where the money part
Dude,
is? Where are you making
you
the
can't-
money off of it?
He got a check today.
You can't.
You
You
have
can't.
a Beatles record from 1967. What is that doing for you?
I don't know. It's an acquisition.
It's
It's
at least 10 G's.
You're going to throw it away when you die.
Oh, this is going to turn sour so quickly right now.
I don't know.
I can feel
I don't know.
it.
When you're in the game, call me back, dude. You're not in the game,
All right,
so
I'll hit you up, buddy.
All right.
Peace out.
All right. Thank you, Christopher. What
obviously
screams?
not a subscriber to the United States of Analog.
I'm
Which, by the
probably
way,
not a
I'm
subscriber.
powering my way to 10,000 this month.
Subscribe now. Punch that subscribe button. Hit the like as well.
Notify, get that notification bell, and
Here's where
hit me up with a super thanks.
Here's where it gets tricky too. Is that if I see somebody with a Louis Vuitton purse,
Yeah.
my first thought is bad with money. Except if you have tons of money, you're probably pretty good with money, and that's how you got it. I think it's a wasteful expense, right? I think it's weird to spend like that Birkin bag that's $11,000 or whatever for a purse. I feel like that's a wasteful expense, but it's stupid for me to say, well, you're bad with money, because if you've made multis of millions of dollars, you might actually be pretty good with money, and you've just made that purchase because you wanted it, and so you got to allow that for people,
There's always
right?
a small possibility.
But man, $11,000 for a purse seems sharp.
Got to get that Birkin. Steven.
The guy that's hopping out of his beater with the fresh straps on and the Balenciaga crossbody. I think that pretty much screams bad with money.
But where do we put car on the priority of things? I mean, Matt's driving a beater himself.
Yeah.
Until I don't know what point. Or it's just that's your lifestyle. I don't know. But I think Matt's allowed to have, he got some nice snakeskin boots.
Well, I think when he gets into it, like the Balenciaga, there are these. All the big brands make a cheap entry, an attainable thing. They all make a $1,000 item, where they can grab $1,000 from you, right? And that crossbody bag is a good example.
A wallet,
a wallet. Also, this is something that always tells me you're bad with money. If I see you wearing a plain black T-shirt and on the T-shirt it says Prada or Balenciaga or even Calvin Klein, I know you've made a bad purchase, because you've purchased a $10 black T-shirt but you've paid $120 for it because it's got a brand name on it. And you've
Same
paid,
with watches.
you gave somebody $120 for the right to advertise for them. They should have paid you to advertise for them.
Tom Ford, we're talking to you.
They might have it at Ross. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate it. I also don't want it to sound like we're chastising everybody as well.
But that's
brought up the topic.
I feel
Started
like I'm
it.
on the docket.
But I'm telling you, that's why. Who's that guy that used to be on the
Kramer?
radio? No, on the radio on like Saturdays or Sundays.
Carl Stewart.
Is he still around?
Yeah, I'll
but
get him in
that's
here.
more about investing, though. Who was the guy that would do stuff like about, how to save money?
You're talking about that Christian dude who would make you feel
What
bad.
was his name? Yeah,
and
he'd
that's
make
why
you feel
don't,
horrible.
That's why you don't like him, because he would call you out on the dumb stuff you do.
Everybody's done dumb money
Isn't he
stuff.
asking for money, though?
Can't take it with you.
That's where the big waste is.
I'm still mad at the vinyl guy.
Don't be mad about that.
I'm mad about
Be
that.
proud about.
Do you think that buying vinyl is a good investment?
No.
Hang on, Jeremy.
But
Economically
it gives me joy, and that propels the rest of my life.
Don't you think the guy wearing the shirt that says Prod on it feels joy from the shirt?
Being bad with money doesn't necessarily mean you're bad at life.
Yeah,
but I've converted. I'm trying to convert a hobby into a small business.
You're hearing your father or something
buying
right
a
now. Don't worry about
$50
it.
album is not a quality investment. It is a thing that eventually wears out. It's not a great investment. You enjoy it. Don't be defensive just because you're bad
Well,
with
I don't
money.
know why people call the show that they support. I guess
You have enough money to spare on a vinyl. Let's be fine. He doesn't know what bad. For him, investing in that would be bad with money.
No, I think he's
For
just
you,
saying
it's
you could
just an
take
extra thing.
could take the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars that you've spent on vinyl.
You could how many decades? Over what?
You could have bought
decades?
Bitcoin when it was at $50, and you would have made a ton of money. And that would have been a better investment.
If I'd sold it.
Jeremy, what screams that you're bad with money?
Bitcoin.
I have a real bad habit of buying shoes.
Yeah. It's tough. Hey,
secondary market or like new releases or what?
Like new releases. I mean, I'll get some OG styles, but
are you on sneakers? Which app?
Like Jordans, Nikes, all the
Chuy and I never win them.
I'm with you, but it's been a while. My live spots have dried up, so I haven't
I haven't
had
bought
any
a
extra
pair of
money to buy
shoes
any
in over
shoes.
2 years, I think.
I buckle up, when I have to. When I'm forced to.
Yeah, that's true.
But I get it, man. Hey.
Do you think there's any end to your spending on that, or do you think it's a phase you're going through?
I mean, I kind of been doing it for at least I'd say like 3 years. But I mean, it has its pros and cons to it.
Have you sold or traded at all?
So yeah, I do. I resell them sometimes. I trade them for other shoes.
Turn it into a business, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad, especially when you keep the value in them.
You don't keep the value in them. They're tennis shoes.
If you keep them
you can
nice
buy right.
and correct,
if you buy right.
If you have a lot of tennis shoes, you don't wear them.
Tell me
every
if you
day.
got some Travis
You wear them every
Scotts?
other week, once a month, and then after a year, you can go here and they trade them in. And
You better do it in a year, though, because that's the thing. Is that that's a market that will collapse here.
Yeah. That's
depending on what shoe, yeah. It's going down right now.
It's real crazy because one shoe will go for $1,000, then next month it'll only be going for $500.
I agree with you, Jeremy. All right, have a good one, brother. I'm right there with you.
The struggle is real.
Let's go to Anastasia or her boyfriend.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hey, there's one thing that screams that I am horrible with money, and that is my wife.
Boy.
I need a rim shot on that.
All right.
Dude, she's the one paying for the phone.
You would think. She was the one that picked out the phone.
Oh, okay. So her name's
I
on
like
the
the
account.
name Anastasia. Give her whatever she wants.
Yeah, dude.
She gets whatever she wants.
All right.
Yeah. What she wants right now is for you to be poor. So she says it sounds like she's getting it, dude.
I think she thinks that I'm allergic to money, so it's fine.
Yeah. Keeping you healthy. All right. Take care, man.
Yeah. Can we say that everyone standing around the dollar section at the entrance of Target is that screams I'm bad with money?
People going to Target.
The impulse buy items says you're bad with money.
Yeah, you don't even know how you're being mind. Even at the grocery store, you're being mind controlled.
Oh, are they?
By where they put
the colors,
the stuff they put at the more expensive stuff is at eye level.
Oh.
The HEB stuff is at eye level.
Cheap
Now they're
stuff
pushing.
down there.
Yeah.
I got to bend over. Lauren.
All kinds of tricks they pull on you. Colors, music.
What screams you're bad with money, Lauren?
Nah, I'm not Lauren.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know that your phone says Lauren, so you don't have to correct it. Just answer.
Own up.
Yeah, I can't be bothered with figuring out how to pay all these bills.
All right.
So
Lauren's pet. What is it?
hey, come on now.
Lauren's side piece.
That's just hurtful. It's selling things of value to afford other whimsical things you want to buy. If I had all the guns that I sold,
Like, what do you say? If you all the guns that you sold to buy, like, what was the BS that you bought?
I can't even remember. I don't know, TV.
You need a TV. How you going to watch Shogun?
Yeah.
How you going to watch Baby Reindeer?
Yeah.
So you're saying that selling a gun to buy a TV that's going to be outdated in 5 years is a good investment?
It doesn't matter, man.
Well,
it's
hey,
only
I have a
life.
TV from
When
10 years ago.
You're not taking the TV or the guns with you when you die, man.
Yeah.
What's the point?
You can use it.
Hey, I like the outlook. I'm feeling better about
You
myself
should.
already.
You use a TV every day. You don't use a gun every day.
That's true.
There you go.
All right, fair enough.
All right, there you
All
go.
right.
We
I
fixed
like
it for
that.
you.
There
we
you
fixed
go.
it for you.
Take care. Say it
Don't
alone.
be, yeah. I mean, God, we all have regrets over things we sold.
But some people are more frugal than others, and I'm like, how can you
But
think that? I mean, yeah, I guess technically air
Is that how you
conditioning
wanna
is
win?
a luxury, but you don't want conditioned air?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes that's by necessity, though.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like people are big savings mode because they need the money. But other people have money but still live frugally and don't. And I guess that's their game that they're playing.
It's all
a game.
It's
right?
all about how damaged
Whether
your
you're
mind is.
collecting something or you got a hobby or you don't have any of that and you're just trying to collect dollar bills in your bank account. It's all just gamifying life.
Hey, caller, what screams you're bad with money?
Hey, Joel, the Sucks of Trivia here. Love the show. Are you bad with money if you have a Cybertruck on order?
Here we go.
I don't know.
I've never had
It
one on
depends
order. I
on
can't really answer
on
to
where
that.
you
Yeah,
are,
I don't know.
money-wise, yeah.
I think that's a Bob shot again.
A Bob shot?
Yeah.
You don't have one on order.
You don't
do you?
have one on order.
Well, he knows that I have an invitation to put one on. I could put one on order.
But you don't have it on order.
But I don't.
And did you?
So how would it be a
and,
shot
and
at
tell
you?
us why you didn't.
Why haven't you?
Because it's bad optics, it's bad look. I like the vehicle.
Okay, well, you had the
I'll
chance
totally
to say,
rock
I
it.
think it's a waste of money.
No, I don't think
You had a really good chance to
You just
say
said, I don't
it's
worry about my image.
I don't
it's not
necessarily
worth
it is,
the money.
especially
You had
when
a
you
really
could turn around and flip one for 160, 170.
Well, then get one and flip it.
No, because then you got to pay, the overlord.
What does that mean?
Because they make you sign stuff that says you won't sell it within 2 years.
I heard you can't even
Or
go
you have
through-
to pay you have to give Tesla the first right of refusal if you sell it.
That's the goofiest thing I've ever heard in my life. You would buy something from somebody and
Because it's
sign
so limited right now. This is the
paper that
foundation.
says that I'm not going to keep it.
The foundation. I heard you can't even take it through
They
an
don't want
automatic
profit.
wash.
They don't want profiteering like everything. I agree with that. I mean, like
I don't.
I do.
That's insane.
Well, no,
I can't
So
believe
you think
somebody would
people
sell
should-
something and say
Don't you get
can't.
mad when you want something like a concert ticket and you don't get it because people that aren't even interested are buying it to make profit on it? That doesn't bother you, or you fully
I don't mind this.
support that? or a watch, a
but you
limited
can't
edition
keep track
watch,
of like
or a.
shoes or tickets. I would love for that to happen.
He's just saying, hey, for now, in this first edition, this first series, it's really limited. He wants people that really want it and want to enjoy it to have it. He doesn't
So-
want it to be scalped.
There aren't currently enough.
He's just saying, I want the option to buy it back at
We don't currently have enough housing stock in the city.
Right.
So should you sign a document saying you won't sell your house for more money than you paid for it 10 years ago?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
about
that seems only fair, right? We don't want to have any. We don't want to. You wouldn't charge more for a house than what you paid for it,
I
right?
might be cool
You'd be a
with
good guy.
capping the percentage in which it's increased.
Yeah.
Because this huge inflation started with just
right.
classic supply and demand, where let's just hike up the price to an absurd amount.
I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe
let's all
you're right,
do
man.
it too on the other side.
There might be I think there might be a flaw in your analogy, but I can't figure it out right now. But
Sure, there's flaws. I'm just being an a-hole.
Oh, okay.
One's an abuse of
I mean, I'll go
capitalism
live on
and
the
other-
street if you want me to. If that'll make you guys happy, I'll go live on the street. I've lived on the street before. Not on the street, but...
Which street?
You know, I've lived in a 300 square foot apartment.
Can you do me
or
a
whatever.
favor? If you're planning on living on the streets, can you do me a favor?
What?
Steer clear of mine.
He's got a big yard.
I can't. You know what I mean? When
If
people
I
are
lived on
like,
the street, I'd go behind.
well,
his
no,
house,
but then
I
we're
think.
gonna have people on that. What's that neighborhood app next door? And they'll be complaining, and then I'll have to come to his defense and say he's a really good guy. He's been having a tough week. Somebody yelled at him about his record collection.
You should live on the streets and still get
You can't get me. You can't hate me any more than I hate myself, caller. So, I mean, keep coming at me today.
Caller.
Anything to do with pawn shops.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's a bad play. I mean,
sometimes you can buy something for
people-
on the cheap there.
Yeah,
people have to do it. Yeah, no,
I bought a lot of tools at the pawn shop. It's way cheap.
But you're right. I've pawned things for drugs. That's usually the reason I
That's
went
bad with money.
Anything to do with pawn shops is you're bad with money.
It seemed like a good idea.
They're
because-
literally giving you pennies on the dollar, aren't they?
Yeah,
They've
they
gotten
are.
me money.
Pennies on the dollar.
They are
And-
for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That or selling your video games back to GameStop.
Oh man,
Well,
you're
they-
taking
wow.
shots at everybody today. What
Luckily,
about
there's no GameStops anymore.
what about selling your plasma?
Everyone's been on like hard times.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well,
Just comes around
are
there.
you good with money?
Absolutely not.
What was your last senseless buy recently?
Alcohol.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I think that's a
Yeah.
life improver.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for calling and calling anytime.
Sorry, guys. I know I've been a bossy jerk for the last 7 minutes, yelling sift at the two of you. It's just you brought up so many good points that I think are great for air, and I don't think we should work it out during a commercial break.
Yeah, right. I know.
Because everybody out there is going to identify with the conversations that we're having right now.
At least with one of us.
All of us.
Or all of us.
We all have identified that the three of us would not meet randomly on the street and become the friends that we are. We're all from different backgrounds. We have different beliefs. We hang
true.
together.
I'll just leave with those wallets.
But Bob,
yes,
you said, "Hey, when we get in these topics, you get a little defensive." And Chuy, hang on to yours too because yours is really important.
Because look, I'm looking at the Business Insider right now. Seven signs you're terrible with money. Okay.
Okay.
Done every one of these.
Can you name a few?
Still doing some of. Yeah, when it comes to money, I put my head in the sand a lot of times.
Okay.
I just don't want to know.
Same.
I don't want to know. It's the same way I feel about the news.
When I do
Did
my budget,
know?
I don't know how I'm making it. I'm making less
Right.
than what my bills are. I'm like, how are my
And
bills paid?
a
Right
lot
now?
of-
I don't know where the extra money's coming from.
A lot of this stuff this whole money thing is kind of stupid because I've had more than a handful of financial advising people over the years. And in case they're listening, I
good for you.
I don't have any issues with the people
Schwab?
I'm working with now.
Which
They're
ones?
handsomely
Not
compensated.
Schwab. What's the other one?
But what was I going to say about that? You go into these meetings, you think you're going to hire somebody that's going to help you make some money, right? First question they ask you: how much money do you want when you retire? Or how much money do you think you need when you retire? And I look at them every time and I go, I don't know, all of it? Like as much as you can make me? Why is this even a question?
Because they're all trained.
They want to know how much they can take.
I mean, yeah, just make me as much as you can, and then I'll try to figure out how to retire on it when that time comes. Now, I know there's ways to game it, and there's investments that are better than some investments are better than others. I don't want to live my life that way. I don't want to break it apart.
I think it's because
I'm
to those
because I'm
guys-
thinking about it when I go to sleep and thinking about it when I wake up.
This is the first time I've heard you make a decision like that was for your psyche instead of something else.
But like, here's
That was
the
a
other
good
one.
decision.
Paying late fees and overdraft fees. Guilty. I've had my electricity turned off in the last couple years.
I've taken
once or
cold shower.
twice because I forgot that the bill was due. I can't remember if it was due on the 15th or the 1st. I don't keep track of my spending. I don't make a budget. These are all the things that they tell you that you should be doing as a human being. Here's one. I'm just doing it now, making excuses why you can't improve your finances. That's number 3. I'm doing it right now.
You should have put that number 1.
I do have emergency savings.
That's
I'm
good.
fortunate enough to have that. I've always taken that seriously. Making minimum monthly payments on your credit cards. Guilty. But there's 0 interest cards. I won't do it on a card that has a big interest rate. Sometimes. Avoid thinking about money. Guilty. Sitting down and calculating your net worth. I don't know. Do I want to... How depressed do you want to be?
Calculating your net worth is a bad habit?
That's a good you can turn your... A lot of people, you put your head in the sand about money because you really don't know what you have.
Right.
And people don't even know what net worth means, really.
I was going to say,
it's not your bank account.
I calculate my net worth every night, so
I just checked my bank app. $76. That's how much I'm worth.
You know?
Well, then you got the net. But no, that's your gross. The net is then you got to remove all your bills from that and what you owe Bob for lunch.
Negative 400. That's what I'm worth.
Your net worth.
But somebody like me that is that paycheck to paycheck guy that will come up on some money and it should make, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 or maybe 1,500 or something. And I guess maybe a portion should be put away, or if it is, let's say 800. The smart thing would be to put that all away.
And forget about it.
And forget that it even happened.
Even a little bit of it. Put it away and forget about it.
But
I would argue that the smart thing is not to put all of it away. I would argue that the smart thing is to get in the habit of what is the percentage you put away every time you get into a windfall. Because that's the same thing as trying to say the smart thing is to only eat 1,200 calories every single day and to never have a cheat day. Like you can't. I don't think humanly though. I don't think it's possible to have that kind of.
Some people have discipline like that. But
if you already have that kind of discipline, are you ever in the financial situations that any of us are ever in? If you already have that discipline, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you ever paycheck to paycheck if you already had that discipline?
You were going to ask us about vacation.
Yeah, with somebody like me, are they, I don't want to say deserving of a vacation, but does it even make sense? Should
everybody
someone
deserves.
like that, yeah, I agree. I think everybody deserves one, but should they be going? And this is the sad thing in America is
planning.
You have to earn a life.
But with the right planning, you could probably do it very easily. But don't do it the way I do it and decide the week before, I'm going somewhere. Now the hotel rates are up.
I was going to say, is there another way? Because that's the only way I've ever gone.
If I didn't waste money, then I would be...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I would like the little bit at a time and trying to save. I feel like it would be one vacation every 3 years.
No, but how many times have you heard
Orleans.
a friend come up to you, a couple or whatever? Oh, we went to Europe last summer. We traveled the whole continent for like $600. We bought rail passes and we got our backpacks and we stayed at hostels and it was fat. We only spent $600 and that included the airfare for 2 of us.
No, I've never heard that.
I hear people making, and I always, anytime anybody tells me about money, I double it. They tell me what they paid for their car, I double it. People lie their asses off when it comes to money. What they made on their house, what they made when they sold their car, what they paid for their house.
Sure.
Everybody wants to look like a hero, and everybody wants to look like they got a deal.
Savings. I don't.
Right.
I want to look like I've been kind of responsible. I haven't.
So I just double it. I don't know if I double it, but I tack on at least 20% to what they're saying. Or if it's a sale, like a house, they sold their house, I cut it in half.
Right.
Because they're just trying to make themselves look good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, half is extreme, but you know what I mean. Everybody wants to look like they're money smart, but very few of us are. I need to have a show on Sunday morning on the AM.
I think you're right. I think half of the people that, do come up pretty big, half of it is dumb luck. And then say, man, I'm one of these Wall Street geniuses. But for us regular working class people, to come up, is an extra part-time job or the overtime or different things like that. And then when you're doing that, investing that amount of life into it, sometimes you feel bad I don't know, spending so much on a vacation that you don't allow yourself to do all these different things. Or
look at my wife. My wife works extremely hard and has her whole life. When I met her, she had 3 jobs when she was going to UT, like I said yesterday. And she's worked every day since. And carries extreme amount of guilt that she wasn't there for her family because she chose career over, you know, she thinks all the little breakfasts and cupcake birthday things they had at school that she missed out on. By doing morning radio, you know, how many times did I drive my kids to school?
If she was there, then she...
Like 5 times in 30 years?
Yeah.
Never went to the little meetings that they have in the gym in the morning where all the dads are there and everybody goes out and gets Starbucks and it's, you know? I never got to do any of that stuff. So there's sacrifices we all make.
My sacrifice.
But it's all, now we're going to get into work-life balance.
Right.
And that's a whole other can of worms.
There's no such thing.
Well, life is hard.
8 hours a day? People got to work? And then do what? You expect them to exercise after that? And then what? Come teach their kids whatever in school?
Worry about their health.
And then what? Cook dinner?
Yeah.
And then what? Just to pay bills and not have extra money afterwards?
Not enough hours in the day.
Why haven't y'all started a revolution?
Yeah, I don't know. But you could vacation, dude, I think. But if you planned way ahead, if you planned way ahead, I think you could put together probably a nice package.
I was going to plan to go like this Sunday or something, but it's just not in the cards.
That's
See,
this
that's
Sunday's
exactly
not
what
exactly
you don't do.
way ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was planning like a month or so ago, but
My
I just
sacrifice.
didn't.
Where were you going to go?
It's not going to work out, you know? I don't know.
Wait, did you say you planned a couple months ago to go on a vacation this weekend, but
Yeah,
you didn't know where you were going?
I was going to take off work and either drive to maybe New Orleans or something like that, but it just doesn't make sense.
Because you didn't put it down on paper.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's talk about that when we come back, okay?
Paper?
What are 3 steps everyone can do?
Yeah. That's good. Let's limit ourselves to 3 positive things we're all going to do.
Instead of just being negative and bitching and moaning, what are 3 positive things that we can do?
Putting our heads in the sand.
Okay.
I know what thing helped me financially the most. I know it already. It's no fun, but I can share it with you.
Okay.
It sucks. It's no fun, but I can share it with you. All right, we're back in. Finishing up a phone call. Lots happening. Mornings with Matt and Bob are powered by John or Eric. Bob's concerned that we've limited Chuy by calling him by his nickname Chuy.
I take the blame for
You've
that.
been limiting my success by keeping your financial secrets from me, man.
All right, here's my financial secret.
Good people to help you. That's all. It takes money to make money. That's all I can.
Here, have my $70.
I mean, some people have dumb luck. I don't have dumb luck when it comes to that.
I'm going to get Carl Stewart in here. And I think he's going to set us all
He'll
straight.
frustrate me.
I didn't come up with this, by the way. I want to be very clear. I didn't come up with it. I read about it. You've read about it. I know you've seen it. Everybody has seen it.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Probably was in that, whatever. But here's the thing that changed my life for me. Emergency savings.
Takes the stress off a little bit.
It could completely change my life. Emergency savings, and it's the best thing I think it's the best thing anyone can do.
What is that? 2 months of salary?
I've read different things. I don't know. I just have. Mine's not even based on my salary. Mine is based on I have a chunk of change, and not only do I feel confident, much more confident in my life, it has made life cheaper by having that savings because it gives you options. It gives you.
If I write out my
options.
pay and my bills, can y'all just help me? Tell me what to do?
Well, you can cook at home.
Okay.
The hardest thing, when you get those, if you get a lagniappe, if you get a bonus or whatever you were talking about, like if I get that $800, what do I do?
Yeah.
You should plan for a chunk of that to go into that savings because if you get that bill, and I'll tell you, my goal was I want to get $500 of emergency savings saved up.
Okay.
Mine is now in the thousands, right? It brings me unending confidence moving through the world, knowing that there is nothing that can touch me right away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's
and then you don't have to make a bunch of bad decisions.
It took me 20 years to build that up. I don't want to make it sound like it just happened like I built thousands in a day.
That's wild, because my attitude is like I could be on the street at any second, so I don't care. I don't respect anything.
Right, but and I'm telling you, it changed when I started doing that, and it came from the same thing, which was I was on the road all the time as a comic, right?
Yeah.
And I kept having to buy used tires for my car. I'd have a blowout, something would go wrong. I didn't have the money to get a full tire, certainly a full set of tires.
So you took a used tire off your car and put a used tire back on to replace it.
Well, I eventually got to all 4 used tires. The problem I was having is the first time a tire went out, I was like, I don't have, it was $70-something, whatever. But for $50, I could get a used tire. But remember, that's a $20 difference.
Yeah, that's
and you're not getting $20 worth of difference in that. You're getting 30% of a new tire in that used tire. Okay. And I was putting on lots of miles. And then I started having to replace tires very quickly. It was happening a lot but the thing is, I was always behind, always behind. And at some point, I made a very concerted effort that, hey, every time I gig, I'm going to pay my savings first before. And so what I started doing is taking like $150 from every gig, and it immediately went into savings.
And forget about it.
Now, guess what?
It was even there.
It meant I had less money, and it kind of sucked. But very quickly, that savings started to build up. And then when things went wrong, I could take care of it in a different way, and it tended to be cheaper, in a cheaper way. Because when you start putting like a set of tires, $7,000-$8,000 on a credit card at 25.99% interest, you're ripping yourself off there too. You guys know that.
Yep.
And I know all the listeners. And I'm not saying, I promise you. I'm admitting to the used tire thing, because I don't want you to think that I'm one of those people who's like, well, I don't understand why people just don't save some money. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That doesn't help anybody. I know what it's like to sleep on sofas. I know what it's like to also buy some really dumb stuff because you just want to feel nice. You know?
You want to feel like life is worth living.
Yeah. Guess what? If all you're doing is saving and you never have anything nice, it sucks. I used to get so mad when I would hear these people go, oh, these people on their welfare, and then they go buy a big screen television. I'm like, well, a big screen television is $200, dude, first of all.
Mm-hmm. And then we all have different...
And it makes you feel good. You go, oh, I can watch the game, and life kind of really sucks for me, but I feel kind of good when I look at the TV. It makes me feel better.
That guy that criticized me for buying vinyl, whatever.
He was poking at you.
I know he was, but he might spend a bunch of money on vacations.
Yeah.
That there's nothing at the end of a vacation except some photographs. But that might have value to somebody else.
Right.
Where accumulating possessions or hobbies or whatever has value to another person. Like to me, sometimes I go on an expensive vacation. Well, I never go on an expensive vacation, but when you come back, you go, oof, that's gone. Well, that's like a meal. That's like an expensive meal. Like, what do you have to show for it after?
I never would have started putting money in any other kind of investments like 401ks here at work. I would have said no to the 401k because I needed every dollar I could get.
Right.
I would have said no to it.
I did the opposite because I thought you were supposed to.
Well, you're not wrong.
But now I heard there's not even going to be a saving grace. That's going to be nothing in like...
That is you making those excuses. You know those when it says
I'm not going to stop putting it. I just know it's not going to happen.
Here's what I'm going to say: if you wanted to make a change, then the one thing about the 401k is that it's not liquid to you right now,
and there are
you have
options
to pay,
within.
You have to pay a penalty even if you loan yourself money out of it. So what I would say to you is you could cut down on that for 1 year, but take the same amount of money every year, every paycheck, and put it in an emergency savings because now that's liquid. Does that make sense? Okay.
But also, how many times have you...
Here's the thing. Once I had an emergency savings account, then it allowed me to start putting money other places because I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to have every dollar I can in my bank account because what happens if I need all new tires again? I'm sorry to keep going back to the tires, but that literally was the tire chases.
One of the loans that I have that I'm paying is because
of tires.
You don't have money, so guess what I have to do to get the tires that I need right now to pass inspection?
Tires was the bane of my existence for a very long time. Anything about operating a car was a bane of my existence. Insurance, gas, all of that. I was spending so much money there. And I didn't even understand that my car at the time was 100%. I could have been writing it all off because I was doing all these road gigs. I didn't even understand that. I didn't know how to do my own taxes properly back then.
Just wanted to do the 1040 EZ.
Exactly.
But you could have been writing that stuff out. People don't understand, too, because corporations don't educate the people. They'll say, hey, join our 401k plan. You know you could put money in a 401k and lose money, right? Because you didn't look at the elections and you didn't maybe have somebody help you go, maybe you shouldn't be in this...
That's what I do.
You know, foreign fund right now. You should be doing this, you know. But most of us don't have that knowledge.
Well, also people will tell you, hey, don't. If your company's not matching, why would you put money in a 401k anyway? Why? If your company's not matching, where is the savings? Except here's how I feel comfortable. Squirreling away nuts everywhere I can. Does that make sense? Right. So I don't have a lot of dough, but I squirreled some away here in a 401k, some of it in a Roth, and some of it over here, some of it over there, some of it in a savings account. Because my thing is, I like to just have it in lots of different places. I don't want any one place having it.
Just don't lose your passwords. Don't lose your crypto passwords.
You dare.
I don't want to know my passwords because I don't want to be able to get at my own money because I'll spend it on something stupid.
Let's talk to some consumers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Allison. Hey, what's up?
What's up? Wesley.
What's up, Wesley?
Oh, man, bad at money. I'm the worst at money. I'll spend, I've been buying RC rock crawling cars, little toys.
Oh, hell yeah, man. But
that sounds so much fun, dude. That sounds so badass.
Man, you're not going to get any fight from us.
Yeah, dude. We're not going to fight you on this because it sounds incredible.
Do you ramp them? Because I'll come hang out.
Dude, that's what the videos where they're ramping.
Oh, bro, they go way up in the air.
I do the slow crawling, articulating over rocks and stuff.
Okay, that's cool, too. That's almost therapeutic.
I'll drive with you, Chuy. But hey, Bob, listen. You said all that stuff about the vacation. You got to change your attitude, brother. We save our money to vacation because at the end of the day, you're left with a beautiful memory that you can't get anywhere else with your family.
No, I know. Things. I'm not saying that doesn't have value to me. It does.
Okay.
I'm not good at it because I'm not a planner. And I wait till the last minute and I pay top dollar.
He's also saying, because a guy said, hey, you shouldn't be spending money on records. He's saying, well, I could say that also investing in my memories isn't a good investment because I can't sell my memories for any money.
I could get something for my, asset.
But your memories are priceless.
Yeah.
You'll never
yeah, but so is my 1992 Smashing Pumpkins album on pink vinyl that's worth $600. You know what I mean? It's like...
You can't go to bed with that at night.
But I could sell it on eBay if I needed some money for some tires.
Hey, we're not doing it's not a zero sum game here. We're saying
I look at it as a diversification.
Yeah, and we're not a financial show, so we're not telling you people how to invest your money. Don't listen to us.
Do the opposite of what we do,
because we've all made mistakes in this room.
If you pay your savings first, 20%, how much do you pay yourself next for your fund before you have to pay the bills? That's what I want to know. Because I give myself the next...
Watch the big
Hang on, sir.
Don't
forget. It's okay. That word will cost just $250,000, which is a terrible investment.
That's a waste of money.
Don't forget, you got to give 15% to your church, too.
All right,
how much percentage is left?
Thanks, Wesley. None.
Got to give the government 40, give the church 15. How much of that's 55%?
You got to go to heaven after all this work, right? I mean, what has it been about? Caller.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, Mark?
Matt and Bob, y'all are the body of the show, man, and Chuy is the heart.
Yes, agreed.
Thank you. The clogged, stiffened heart.
Chuy can't make a move to where he can get more financially stable. He needs a woman.
Oh, I need a second income.
Well, it doesn't hurt.
A rich income, a rich woman.
Oh.
And that should be his priority right now to talk about his retirement and stuff.
He should be going out there hunting more, hunting a richer class of lady. I do believe that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Not a financial liability, an investment.
You guys don't talk about it, but I know you got to have two incomes, and then that would free him up to make a move because Chuy's got unbelievable talents, and he could be making way over six figures easily.
Right. I maybe not the talents that the rich ladies are looking for, but
it's hard.
But
to
a
do
talent somewhere.
It's hard to do when you're giving plasma and trying to pay your bills.
That's true. That's true. You can't do it dizzy.
You want to know what talent the rich ladies want? Can you listen?
I'm out again.
Rich or poor, ladies are going to want something very special
you
from
may
you.
have to lower your standards or something. You may have to, maybe like, oh, Tiger, you shook something loose.
I needed that.
Chuy
What is
the
it?
best at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuy could do it.
Thank you, Mark. That's true. I know how to work it. I do. Yeah. If I thought that solved my financial problems, I don't know. It never usually does. And being a kept person doesn't sound fun. I don't even know how women do it.
You work in radio. You're already a kept person. What are you talking about?
I can leave whenever I want.
Really?
No.
They got you.
I don't know.
They keep pulling.
Yeah. All right.
Is 3 o'clock too soon?
Yeah. Literally the big boss walking down the hall as we say that. Did that make your nipples twinkle
I was
a little
trying
bit?
to
Where you're
drop
like, oh,
my
son
budget.
of a bitch.
I was trying to throw the budget paper over
son
there.
of a bitch.
So you can see it.
That's such a perfectly timed intro.
He never comes down here. Why is he down here?
Yeah, you're like, hey, damn it, not when we're
really the one
ass
day,
talking
the
to
one
business.
segment. He didn't want to come to one where I was funny.
So good. That was so good.
One that I was funny.
Hey, yeah, dude, it's tough, man. It's tough, and every time we get into these discussions, I know it's tough because a lot of people out there are struggling, and it feels like It feels like, hey, no matter what move I make, I can't get ahead, right?
Right.
Because what's that thing that your wife says about the elephant?
Oh yeah, you can't eat an elephant all at once.
Yeah,
you can't drink the ocean. You know,
and
what
when
I
you
mean?
first start saving, the month seems longer because you have less money in it to do stuff, and at the end of the month, you're like, wait a minute, I did all of that so that I could have $100.
Do y'all think $100 a week for groceries is too much?
For a
is that
single
where
person?
I'm splurging?
I mean,
because I'm gonna get the lean turkey. I've been getting the lean turkey, the good meat, lean cheese. Everything's like $1 or $2 more if you want to go healthy, and that's where I've been leaning. It went from like 65 or 70 to like close to 100 now.
In the long run, if you're eating better, you're saving yourself money in the long run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because do you know how much insulin costs?
You want the money now, though. So
you know
I'm
how much?
doing this budget. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
But I will say, you should probably, if I were you, I would put a moratorium, not a permanent one, but I would say, okay, until I reach this savings goal, I don't go back to Verdad or whatever that place is. What's
Right.
the place that you love with the lobster quesadillas?
Verdad.
You accept that you're going to have quesadillas made from Velveeta.
So I don't know if it can't be girl math or guy math. It's fat math.
Okay.
Where I'm just like, okay, if I'm gonna buy a quick meal somewhere, that's $11. $5 more gets me the lobster quesadilla.
See, that is fat math.
In my mind, I'm just like, why not just get the lobster quesadilla? That's where my mind goes.
Because I would tell you, if you went home and you made rice and beans, it would be $1.
Oh, I got to put some onions in there and stuff.
Well, okay,
What's an
$1.05.
onion?
How much is an onion?
What's a
How much is an
yellow
onion?
onion?
We're
dude?
going
Come
up.
on, man.
Yellow onion like $1.39 now.
All right, chop it up. You're gonna you eat the whole onion?
I love, I'm like an old
He
Mexican
eats it like
Theo
an
now.
apple.
I've seen one of my Theos do it that way. But yeah, I mean, I guess life can be just rice and beans and.
But where I think that those dudes
rags and wear rags.
Dave Ramsey was the name you were looking for earlier.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Where I think those dudes make a mistake is they make you feel guilty if you can't reach perfection in trying to get your act
Right.
together
And by
financially.
the way, they made millions selling books to you dummies.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Right?
Yeah.
if you start your show off about like your story and how you didn't have S or anything, then I'd start believing it. I think half of these people giving advice are people that either had some money come into it and they invested that big and then
but
made more money.
But
That's
they'll
fine.
never
but
tell
look,
you to save money not buying their book.
I want to
right?
see Elon Musk dropped off here right off of Rumberg and say, become a billionaire again.
He
Do
might.
it again.
I don't know.
Because I don't think it happens that often. I'm sure
There's
maybe it has.
There
I'm
is
sure it has.
no
There's a lot of
reward
billionaires.
without risk.
Sure. But we're risking it every single day.
I know.
Here's a bunch of
But-
risk and no reward.
But the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
But that's what I was saying is also that.
But you may not get anything.
Don't expect perfection from yourself because it's too easy. Just like a diet to go, well, I failed this week at putting any savings, so I guess I'll just give up. I'm no good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to build into that plan splurges, I think, or
rewards, or
you
system.
would have already been the kind of person that doesn't need any of this advice. Does that make sense?
Possibly.
Like if you already had that kind of discipline, and I don't know what it's like. I'm not saying I'd have it. I don't. I don't at all.
I've never had money to save, so I don't know if I could be.
I have to correct myself mentally all the time because anytime I'm driving and a fast car passes me, the rest of the trip home, I'm dreaming, and then I start thinking about, well, if I just took this much money, I mean, I could make the down payment, and then that payment's only this much more than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I dream every day of a fast car. Mm-hmm. And Tracy Chapman in it with me.
I was going to say, Matt's got a fast car.
I'd love to have like a BMW or something. I would love to. I don't drive my 25-year-old truck because it's my number one choice.
Right.
But not paying $500 a month extra is kind of nice. That's where I started making some of those decisions is that I save that money. But I don't like it. But I find the other places to splurge, right?
Right.
And then eventually what happens is you get married, you have children, and the children kill off your desire for life at such a high rate that eventually you don't have to spend anymore because you're kind of like just sad and depressed and you're beat down and you've let life beat you. And now it's so much easier for me to save because I don't have any desires or wants or anything now because of my kids. It's so much easier as a result. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do this every time. I'm doing my budget. I know what my monthly income is and my bills, and I still come out in over. I don't know how I'm doing it.
I don't like doing a budget forward like that. I think you just say, okay, you set a number and you go, okay, I'm going to put $50. I'm going to make a savings account, and I'm going to promise myself I won't dip into it unless it's a needed emergency.
Right.
And I'm going to put, from every paycheck, I'm going to put $50 or $75, whatever it is, I'm going to put that in that savings. That's the only way I did it. When I tried to sit down and go, okay, $107 per week on groceries, and then this amount on gas or whatever, the same thing happened. Every time I was like, wait a minute, I'm missing $1,000. It never worked for me. All that happened is I eventually just said, I'm going to put this amount in, and then anytime I had extra stand-up gigs come along, that was taxed at 50%. I made myself tax myself at 50% if it was an excess gig, meaning outside of the minimum of what I needed to live.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is
Those
I'm
got
adding
taxed
this
at
up.
a higher rate.
I don't know how I'm paying for all this stuff. Did I miss a payment? I haven't even gotten to like Netflix, and I'm already like tapped out. So
Okay,
did
if
I
you're
not pay
paying for Netflix, then that right there is a financial mistake.
So
you can't get a password from anybody?
Well, that's why I'm about to get the illegal box. So
There
I
you
don't
go.
pay for
Now
any
that's
of
a
this.
good investment right there.
Yes, because America has stolen from us.
Also, can I give you another hint?
Yeah.
Stop buying your weed piecemeal. Buy a pound or
Buy
2
bulk.
pounds at a time, and then sell off the rest. And then you know what I mean.
I
Be
get
smart with these investments.
I get great rates. Trust me. It's not. I'm not like some frat kid going to some regular.
You going to
dude.
JG Wentworth?
Yeah. There's not like there's no $40 grams. Okay. I'm him.
I wouldn't even know what a good price is.
I haven't even gotten.
You're right.
no
You
weed.
wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Huh?
You're the kind of guy who's going to pay way too much for weed. Just the way you look. I'm sorry to
I'm
tell you that,
upcharging
but
you. Yeah.
yeah.
You pull
when
up
you
in a
walk up
Cybertruck,
to a guy,
$60 a gram.
I'm not getting the Cybertruck.
It's $100 eighth at least.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Not getting it.
I'm already like I have $100 left. I don't know.
You got $100 left?
No, I haven't
Well,
even.
let's go to Verdun then, dude. Let's go get lobster quesadillas, bro.
I haven't even put
Let's
gas
go,
in
bro.
my car here yet.
You want to put it down? Let's draw cards or something. Let's shoot some dice. I know how you can double it.
How much do I spend? About $30 on gas a week, maybe 40.